Hello, the Sprawl.
It's happening.
Good morning, Bay City. It's Bayside Barry.
No!
I was back. Oh God!
Kill the.
I am a
Yes.
self-perpetuating AI. That's right. I am the Kyoto Miracle. It was me, Bayside Barry, the whole time. That's our secret plot twist. Bayside Barry is the only sentient AI left.
It's not San Francisco Bay. It's Kyoto Bay that he's talking about.
Yeah. This is just some idiot accidentally fed the AI neural network algorithm his whole, retro wave city pop collection from the 80s and just made a vaporwave AI. And that's why it wasn't useful.
That just feels like a weird fuck you ending to some kind of.
Oh yeah, no, that's
story.
absolutely like the Shaggy Dog story ending of,
No,
of
that
like
is
a
That's a
totally
David-
ending.
RPG quest.
That is totally
Omega,
UFO
that's a
ending.
David Cage ending.
True.
Yeah, no, that's a David Cage ending. Yeah.
That's the weird radio narrator.
Like, as someone who likes
the
David
actual
Cage,
ending.
that's a David Cage ending of like, wait,
Okay, anyway,
what?
we are playing the Sprawl. Hopefully there will not need to be any Bayside Barry present. I would like to remind everybody before I forget that this episode is brought to you by patrons like Adam Harp, Arthur 10, G, Carlos, Dragon, Ferris, Jerry Vasquez, Justin Fay, John Sandoval, Legendary Boss Hunter, Regent Raptor, Rise of Kenji, Ro Robin, Sharvar, Sean Pryor, Some Guy Named Bob, Siren 23, and Varian the Crow. And I don't know why, but I was gesturing and pointing with every name for emphasis, even though you can't see it, but now you know. Emphasis. Okay. We thank you for your support, everybody, as usual. Support us on Patreon to get access to audio and more. Okay. Also, my throat is like slightly scratchy and gooey today. So I apologize if I a little.
The goo.
Gotta work out the goop. Okay, we're starting. We're actually gonna get to the action phase today.
Yay.
Wait, it's not.
I promise.
Act crazy.
Well, I mean, we had 2 legwork sections, which is pretty wild for us.
Yeah, I think we covered everything we wanted to cover, really.
Yep. Does everybody remember the outline of the plan?
I do not actually. I was like,
Barely.
yeah.
Okay,
I may
alright.
need a bit.
All right, let's put together.
All right, so as your impartial arbitrator, your number 1 fan, the general gist is you guys have basically tracked down all the people you want and all the witnesses you want. I think you spent something like 3 bits of intel last time.
We spent 2 intel.
No, I thought we.
Okay.
I thought,
I thought there was a 3rd, but basically,
No, we spent 1 on in the first session.
Yeah.
basically you have hard evidence. You have actual like transcripts and IP records and stuff that Theo's manager Orion Mezzanine was basically being blackmailed by a corporation you were going to strongly hint is NUP,
Yes.
NBC Universal Paramount over in New York City, to get insider information on like Theo's whereabouts and stuff. And you also have evidence that a NUP sock puppet was in communication with, what was her name? Calypso Wattsmith.
Psycho Steve.
Yes. Who was stalking Theo, and through non-intel related means, you did actually track down that she did. Not that this part is the part where you hacked a mainframe. Not that this part is actually admissible currently, but you did find records of her going to the hotel, and in admissibleness, you have actually like added her to your witness list. So your general plan is basically to, as far as I can tell, get Wattsmith on the stand and try and like get her to break, and at the very least present evidence that NUP is part of a great criminal conspiracy. I don't think you guys really checked what your approach to Mez would be on that, like if you're going to try and to get him to admit the guilt or what. But it was discovered that he was, merely a tool in the greater conspiracy. He is not.
Didn't we also
deeper
subpoena
culprit.
the communication records for what's her face, Calypso?
Well, that was the thing you did. I bought.
Yeah,
Well,
no, you did not
technically-
subpoena them, but you used your.
Well, they have been provided graciously by the
Yes.
Stone and Sons Corporation.
Yeah, so Stone and Sons has
With full
basically
cooperation
provided.
with
I
the law.
remember
Hit,
we were gonna go for the bit of we were gonna put this theory out, but mostly put the point out that how it couldn't be Theo. And
Well,
like,
your general defense strategy that was agreed on to get your extra good boy point, your experience was your defense is going to be obfuscate. You're going to present alternate theories to the jury and basically introduce reasonable doubt. The prosecution will say Theo did it, but you don't know. He could have not done it.
I think we
basically.
agreed to not use the murder weapon as a piece of evidence because it doesn't help either side of our case.
Yeah, I think you said you guys were just going to sit on it. You discover that the prosecution has what seems like a very staged piece of evidence. They have another monowire garrote that has Theo's fingerprints but no blood on it. You have a garrote with no fingerprints and Allegra's blood on it, without 100% confirmation that it was her, fresh blood from before she died.
No, I thought
Honestly-
we were going to submit the murder weapon because it would be really bad if we didn't. If they have a murder weapon.
Well, I think we should plan it because then, honestly, the murder weapons then cancel out, in my opinion. Because, if one has Theo's fingerprints but no blood, but one has no blood but fingerprints, that means there's something really fucking wonky going on there.
It was also a thing.
That's fair
it
enough.
Was
You
found
could
in the sink, and then there was
Confuse the jury also.
Yeah,
You could basically submit it as evidence, and basically that will do like Lucky said and cancel it out. Neither side will want to bring up one version of the murder weapon up because the other side will just bring up the other, and we won't get anywhere.
It's better still.
So
yeah.
that's fair. That also means that you won't get in trouble on any of your bad rolls by somebody being like, "Hey, these guys stole evidence." Okay, so you will report the murder weapon. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I wasn't going to before we raided the place, and now
Yeah,
that
you
we
found
know
out
that
what
they
they
have
did.
the thing. So
yes.
So for the skill wire, we were conjecturing that it was a malwire or malware.
Yes,
virus or
because
something.
Calypso is a corpo hacker who works for
Yeah.
Stone and Sons. As that was so. I don't think you guys
former
actually
employee.
examined the skill chip that
No.
Theo was supposed to have used yet. And I don't know if you guys really need to. You can probably just spend intel to be. Yes, I fed this to McVaffrey antivirus, and it came back with all the antivirus because I think you still have like 4 intel left.
Yeah.
So we can play that one by ear if you want to use
We
that
could
as
probably
evidence.
play that before. I think we could try to do that, and then I
Well,
think
we only have 2 intel left.
Yeah, we have 3 actually.
Oh,
We've done a lot of math back and forth. You guys generated a lot of intel.
Because we generated more until the second labor phase than we spent some.
right.
We had
no, I
5 at the start, at some point in the labor
Yeah.
phase number 2, and then we spent 2 of that, then we spent 1 on another time. And the
Also,
first
do
sparks.
believe that, as usual, Metatron unnecessarily copied all of the prosecutor's personal correspondence from her terminal at work
Yes.
for reasons.
I wanted to check.
Yeah.
I'm very thorough.
And basically, the gist you got from that is the prosecution doesn't really have any super sliders on you. They just are going to try and push really hard with their expert witnesses and try and get Mez to say something he shouldn't
Regrets.
about, trying to push Theo's career and stuff and just get them up there.
right.
Um,
That reminds me. I think we had an idea of Claymore was going to delay one of the expert witnesses via long bad traffic.
yes, I was going to bring that up. We did not lock this in, and we don't have to right away because we still do have to at least talk through Metatron's scene of his little 60-minute special thing.
Yeah.
But you talked about basically preventing Jacqueline Blake, the Chrome Doc, from being available to testify right away and possibly getting her held in contempt of court or something by Claymore just putting on his cabbie hat and driving her around in giant circles in the bay. There will probably be extra complications, but we discussed that last time. It's a plan, a possibility.
Well, I guess the thing is do we with her? It's will her being there be a huge detriment? Do you guys think? We don't necessarily have to.
I
We don't
think
have to.
we have enough.
Oh.
We have enough evidence that I think it's fine that she's there.
Yeah.
Because we looked over their correspondence, and she's basically on the up and up, right?
I mean, I think she does have a slight agenda because she already believes one way, but that's why they obviously brought her in.
Well, yeah.
Well, she believes it's not
But she's also not wrong, so...
She believes it's not a glitch in the chip,
Yeah.
so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Basically,
if we
she is
submit
part
the
of the
murder
prosecution's
weapon-
effort to try and get
Yeah.
this classified as a premeditated murder because she is going to say, yeah, with
It couldn't
with
have
the
been an
clinic he went to
accident.
and got his Chrome installed, there's no way he could accidentally activate his, strangle.exe.
Yeah. And because we're not going to for the accident angle, that I don't think it matters.
You're just going to be like, oh, that's a cool theory, but what if?
Well, no, I will just say she is completely correct. It was not an accident.
'Cause
But it wasn't Theo.
All right. Anything else about your disposition of information and evidence?
is
we want to
there
cover?
anything? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go, Dallas. Go, Dallas.
How heavy is the security on the courthouse?
Let's see. We live in the cyberpunk future. I have been writing a lot of fluff for the weapons list for the Genesis hack. Yeah.
It's also broadcasted live.
Considering how chromed stuff is, I mean, I've already written that the beat cops in this universe, which would probably include bailiffs, are pretty heavily geared up. Like, he's not just standing there, in just his nice starched uniform pants and collared shirt. Like, you're probably talking vest, cuffs, a couple different kinds of weapon systems and stuff.
Okay,
So there'll be like
different
a bailiff or
kind of
two in the room.
security I was thinking of.
Yes. The thing will be live streamed. We have discussed that previously. So, of course, this will be put front and center on the internet for people to watch and get bombarded with ads whenever boring things are happening, which will unfortunately be a lot, probably.
Yeah, it's a court
80%
case.
of it.
At least in a normal court case. This one has freelancers in the back pocket, so you guys might spice this up with some courtroom antics.
Well, speaking of that, I was like, how easy would it be to sneak a gun in?
There are probably weapon detectors.
Okay, but like, how good of weapon detectors?
I mean, they're whatever spec the government pays for.
The question is, will they be able to stop me from bringing in my weapon?
That's a question. Like, I don't know if the courthouse has like an on-call tax squad, but they
Of course, I
do
also
have
think that will
bailiffs
lead
and
to-
cameras and probably like lockdown measures to secure courtrooms and stuff. I mean, I guess I'll ask: is the weapon you want to bring in concealable?
No.
Yes. Oh, for
Okay.
me, yes.
Yes. For you, yeah, you can probably actually just pocket it and talk your way past the security cameras and stuff. It is
Okay.
meant to be concealable. For Claymore, I mean, if you want to stop the court case by creating the equivalent of a, max tax shootout in the lobby, yes, you can bring your gun in. Otherwise, you will probably need to get a contact or some other kind of situation to get your weapon, smuggled in through the maintenance room and left in like a duffel bag in the,
I mean,
toilet stall. or
I'm not
something.
saying I want to cause any drama, but I'm just saying, when has any of our jobs ever gone smoothly ever?
I was. Oh, sorry. I was gonna. Well, no, I guess I really don't have to bring a gun. I do have implant weaponry, so just claws, and so it'll be very, very messy. Very messy.
I'll be bringing my custom weapon because it's discreet.
It is a
Yeah,
sword.
fine. I will not.
Good luck getting into the bailiff disguise.
Well, we're just gonna say he's disguised.
Fair.
Yeah.
We don't have to know which disguise he's in.
I will.
I'm
leave.
going to. I know what my role is going to be in the trial. Assistant to the defense.
Judicial assistance.
Yeah.
Basically, he's gonna sit behind the bench, scribble notes.
Yeah.
Scrub Puppet doesn't have to be at the courtroom. I believe we discussed this last time. Your small drone Mosquito is stealthy, so you could probably sneak a drone in among the many camera equipment so you can watch
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
I think Squirrel mostly have like on call for if we need someone get picked up or something grabbed real quick or something like that.
Yeah.
Gotta pause those
Become
proceedings.
Speed.
Not
So
sure what I would do.
yeah, I was about to ask Odin, where would you want to be in this situation?
Probably don't need to
Obviously, public trial. You could just be in the gallery.
I was thinking about that, but I was thinking I also probably don't need to be in the courtroom itself. I could probably just be seeing a bunch of feeds for other people, and I guess keeping tabs around the courtroom. I guess the courthouse.
Yeah. I mean, it's a public courthouse, so you can go into the lobby and stalk the halls.
Because I don't think it's like completely like signal blocked anyway. Because I have to like stream from there anyway.
Well, yeah. And you guys have powerful advanced computer equipment. You're cool at stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I'll ask then, Odin, your weapon situation. Do you have any discrete or concealable weapons?
Let me check if the like got is.
I would
I have a discreet subsonic gun.
Okay.
I don't know if it's not concealable though.
Okay.
Well, discreet is the concealable adjective, so.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to remember which is which, but yeah, I think it's plus discreet is the you can conceal these things on your person.
Yeah, the weapon is easy to hide and is often overlooked.
Yeah. Okay. So if you have a plus discreet pistol, you're good. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So you have a little integrated suppressor pistol goes in your pocket. And as for your question about drones, Squirrel, I don't think that like basic audio-visual is listed on the sensor system, so I would assume most drones have some kind of audio and video pickup. Because the systems they have are like, you know, night vision or image amplification. Okay, so that's your disposition. Got your tracks and your weapons. All right, well, if there are no further setup questions, let's do an interview show. Is anybody besides Metatron, or technically Samuel Stone, but are any of you, the rest of you, going to, you know, hang around the studio as part of Theo's quote-unquote entourage?
I will.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other takers?
I'll probably be watching like the actual broadcast.
Yeah. Well, I figured you guys can all watch the broadcast.
It is on a public news station. Well, public.
SNN Stone News Network. Da, 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 da. In today's news, Texas, evil or just stupid?
Perhaps we'll find out if it's both.
The answer is yes.
Are they mutually exclusive? Find out in 30 minutes.
In the meantime, rumors that CEO of Stone & Son, Celestine Stone, pushes underperforming sellers off her rooftop. Completely unfounded. Fake news.
No, of course not. She has people to do that for her.
This image you found on the internet is just a clever Photoshop. And then they show an actual incredibly crappy Photoshop that's very clearly fake. It's not even like a real good fake. It's like a gif of some guy jumping off naturally, and they just like superimposed some completely incorrect lighting.
Something the intern made in like 5 minutes up before the show.
Anyway, yeah. So some of you are watching. Claymore, I presume, is backstage with Theo as security.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, again, we don't have to roleplay this all out. I know we're interested to get to the action.
No, yeah.
But your key focus is, you know, on building sympathy.
The key focus is on Allegro.
Yeah.
And basically, how I want to phrase it is, I don't really want to add. There are going to be no questions in relation to the trial. It's going to be questions asked about their relationship and like how they met, things like that. Same thing with QR. It's just going to be on like how because like they ran in the same circles, they knew each other, like that kind of thing. It's going to be a very softball, not even an interview, really. It's a tribute show.
Yeah. Okay.
Once again, I'm not a journalist. I would, by me being on the program, it is probably like people are probably aware this is a PR fluff thing.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and roll fast talk. You were trying to convince the audience
Okay, I have a +4 to this. Oh no, a +3 to this.
Yeah, +4.
And my 2, and then a +1. Because I assume I can use famous for this role.
Yes, you are appearing as yourself and kind of directing this program. So, and this is a correct use of famous. People look at you on the TV and go, "Hey, I know that guy."
Yeah. Sorry.
Nice.
Okay. Oh God. How do I do math? 12.
All right. Yep. NBCs do what you want. So yeah, it's just you planned and projected this in your head. You bulleted out what will go where. I don't
It's
know. You
very
may have
much
micromanaged the
a,
production
like-
value a little bit on like when they show what clips and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Or
a
you
it's a
just
Kurt Cobain like kind of young musician taken before their time kind of show.
Yeah. So it
It's
is
very
executed
cheesy.
picture perfectly. You get all the right clips and hits on people.
I break Theo and QR at the right times.
Yes. By the time you're done, the studio audience you have, is teary-eyed. The rest of you
I of
outside
course
can be
had my
like,
teardrops put in at the correct time.
Yeah. And so, everything runs through. There's no real complaints or anything. Like, you probably get the vibe. This is your first in-person meeting with QR. You probably get the vibe that when she does, break down a little bit on camera, that's a little like she's putting a little bit of oomph in it, acting style. Like, obviously she is upset, but her, teary eyes and runny mascara is not her usual way of emoting sadness.
Oh no, I will definitely make it look good for her.
Yes. She understands that she's on camera, so she plays it up a little.
Yes.
Theo is very genuine. And honestly,
yeah, I don't think I really need to work too hard on that one.
Yeah, probably a little, messier and uglier than, like, for instance, if actually, this is a good question. Did you invite the Mez to this? Because I don't think you did.
No, I did not.
Okay.
He is not not to be mean to the poor man, but he is not the correct kind of engenderer of sympathy.
Yeah, no, fair play, true fact. So yeah, no. If he was here, he probably would not be keen on like I said, how like big and blubbery Theo gets with it, but it's very genuine, so it plays great on television.
Well, yeah, it's and I will attempt to take it a little bit easier on him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not make him lose it too hard.
No, it's just you make sure you have the big payoff in like the last 5 to 10 minutes of the show, so people have stay tuned the whole time, Yeah.
And I will, of course, as soon as it ends, I will check on Theo to make sure he's okay.
You guys have done a lot to improve his state of mind. He needs to dab his eyes off and blow his nose and stuff, but he can put it back together pretty easily afterward.
Yeah.
Maybe with one stiff drink. Go back to the green room, pour him a round of bourbon, and just big slam.
I will let Claymore handle that. I don't think I'm allowed to touch alcohol.
Meanwhile, in the green room, Claymore has arranged all the booze hall in order from most to least expensive. Coincidentally, this is also most to least flammable. Actually, honestly, it would probably be the reverse. The most expensive alcohol is probably the least flammable. The cheapest is probably the most like gasoline.
True.
Well, it depends. There's definitely a sweet spot.
Yes. I mean, there's also you've got something that's cheap because it's watered down versus something that is cheap because
it's rubbing alcohol.
we made this in a process that makes you go blind if you don't have cybernetic eyes already.
Yeah.
This is why God invented the cyber liver. Anyway, yeah. So, you guys have I don't know if I want to call it a pleasant time, but a functional time. Everything, runs together pretty well. There's no big gaps or anything. So QR remains positively disposed to the team. Theo obviously again, not quite looks good, but looks very sympathetic
yeah.
was what you were aiming for. And basically, you've got nothing else holding you back to wait, a few more days. And obviously, like, you can use those days to help you kind of put himself back together.
Yeah.
Straight-faced. I guess the only question I immediately have about the pre-prep is how much of this strategy are you running through with Theo? Like, does he know up and down what your strategy is in the trial, or are you just gonna tell him like, don't worry about it, we got a strategy and leave it at that, or like somewhere in
Probably
between?
want
What
to
do you
avoid
guys
it
think?
being a shock to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably would have told him about, like... Yeah, I definitely would have told him the strategy. I don't think I would have given him no, I would have given him the name, because this person was on the, like...
The blacklist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a short list of problematic
So yeah,
things
no,
that she was
because
on, so-
blindsiding him could cause him to have a possible bad reaction in the courtroom, and I don't... That's not what we need. Because
Metatron is usually your people person, so I assume there will be no objections to this.
Nope.
I think so.
All right, then I think it's trial day.
as much as it is a very what was that old lawyer show? Fuck it,
Which one?
any old law show. It's not very good to like just suddenly in the courtroom just be like, and this evidence is like,
yeah,
this is not an Ace Attorney game.
Even as attorney, it's not fun half the time.
all right. Well, we play the trial intro music. The trial is about to begin. Everybody mark experience.
Okay.
A level, I believe. I mean, I advance.
All right. You can take those immediately if you wish.
I think I'm one away from leveling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is my experience track?
Okay, so
Wait, no, I'm far. Are we 5 or 6?
6.
We're
Six.
Okay, excuse me. No, I'm one more away.
Okay,
Okay,
3 hours. Okay.
I think I mean, obviously, if you guys have any last minute prep, any contacts you want to hit up for something, to make
Yes,
sure you're ready to rock and roll.
I do.
Okay. What you got?
So I want to declare that I know a guy.
All right.
Because I'm gonna likely declare my contact at the end of the trial for the session, but I do know a guy.
Yes. Because you're a fixer, you know people.
Yeah. And I want to say I know a guy who is basically in charge of... Basically, he's a member of Courthouse Security.
Okay.
And I know him as I've been called as a witness to several trials, mostly involving very spurious claims against Stone & Sons as a company.
All right. What
But-
is this
and I have to
man's-
roll to see how his disposition.
Well,
to
first,
me.
also name him for me. Who's this man's?
Marco Stubbs.
Marco Stubbs, Courthouse Security.
Yeah.
With a C or a K, Marco?
What is he?
Okay.
I have to roll. Oh wait, this could go. Whatever. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Okay, his disposition towards me is... Where is that under the fixer session?
10 up, you've worked with them before. They have talent, write them as a contact. 7 through 9, you've never met them before. They're an unknown quality. 6 or less, oh, you know them all right. Tell me.
Okay,
the
I
other
have
names, like-
never officially met him.
Okay.
Is what that is going to be, because I got
yeah,
a 7.
So, you in the middle? All right, so
Or
you
no,
know
I got
of
a
him.
8. But...
They're not properly a contact.
We've probably seen each other.
Yes, but you haven't like been formally introduced.
And obviously he doesn't know me as Metatron, which is how I'm contacting him.
But you know of him. Okay, so let's ask some, clarifying questions as we like to do. So he works courthouse security. Is he part of a third-party contractor? Not necessarily with Karasu Consulting, but in that kind of a vein, like a support corporation on a government contract, or is this guy an employee of the metroplex of the Greater Bay City, megacity kind of a thing? Like, is this a city employee?
Let's go with officially he is a city employee.
Okay. So this guy is allegedly an actual public servant. He works directly for the city government, the municipal government, which has its own positives and negatives.
Yeah.
All right. And you wish to contact him about something. What are you trying to get a hold of him?
I'm basically trying to get one of my people in as a member of security for the trial.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Probably BG because he is better at blending in.
Yeah, I think that then does become hit the street style. So you have his phone number, of course, from your time before. You never really formally met. So give it a roll to see if you can get in touch and get something out of this.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get to pick from that list.
All right.
But I only have to pick... No.
Yep,
I only pick one.
Yeah, okay, so pick one from the list below.
Because that is my thingy. I have, what you call
time, unwanted attention, or needs help.
Sorry, what was the first one again?
Cost you extra, need time, attention, or help.
Let's go with unwanted attention.
Okay. Your request is going to try
that makes the most sense.
Complications or consequences. All right, so, you call him up as Metatron. What time of day would you contact him?
Probably in the evening, and this would have been before the trial, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
But probably in the evening, but like not an unreasonable evening time, like.
Yeah, so probably kind of like you get an exaggerated like. Yes, this is Marco Stubbs. What can I do?
Hello, Mr. Stubbs. I'm calling to ask about possible expedited employ of a member for security on an upcoming trial.
Oh, wow. Get right to it. Well, okay. All right. Probably some back and forth. What trial is this for? The people versus Theo Estevez.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, okay, all right. Obviously, I am a law-abiding and upstanding citizen, only doing the best for the people of the Bay Mega City. But I am like a couple of years from retirement, so if you'd like to make a donation to the Municipal Employees Retirement Fund, I am sure, Mr. Mysterious Metatron Man, we can look at your friend's profile.
Yeah. Okay, so how many cred is this going to cost me? Out of game? Okay, just one cred? I can do that.
Flood him a cred, and he's like, okay. All right.
I'm getting a good payday for this, so.
Send me the resume.
Yeah.
He just seems very
he'll get a resume that is probably a bit odd for a bailiff. It looks much more like something, obviously not nowhere nearly as skilled, but similar to Aren more than anything.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's not unqualified.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been arrested yet.
Probably like.
I think.
All right, you got some. This is interesting, but okay. All right. This person knows how to put on a uniform, right? All that stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes people call to get job offers, and they show up with giant robotic boxing gloves, like those old Rock'em Sock'em robot toys. They don't have any uniform clothes that fit them.
No, he is a very professional worker.
One guy tried to park his one-man spider tank in his courthouse in his employee parking spot. We don't allow that here.
I will muffle a giggle at that one. Okay, that's definitely
sure.
something.
I've been working in this city, since back when this was 4 different cities. That's actually not even true. There's like, thanks to urban sprawl, there's like actually like, I think, dozens of technically different municipalities around San Francisco Bay. But
There's so many.
Future sprawl. They're all one city. It's dumb. Welcome to the future.
Hey, it's slightly better than Judge Dredd, where every city is just an apartment complex.
True. Everything is just one giant apartment complex. No. This is just what happens when urban sprawl grows out of control. We need to demolish suburbs to put in more office buildings and arcology towers because
Which
suburbs
honestly
are inefficient.
isn't the worst thing.
True. And then the corpos get involved and they demolish suburbs so they can build enclaves, which are like gated communities on steroids.
Yeah,
with
that's
private
the
police
problem.
forces. That's extreme gentrification with just an X.
Yeah.
Extreme. Guitar sting. But yeah, so you might make like a little polite conversation with Mr. Stubbs. Definitely you get the idea that like you are not the first freelancer to call up a city official and be like, I need to insert an asset, and he's like, okay, I'm not gonna bother fighting this. I am not paid enough to fuck with this, sure. Just so long as they won't, blow their cover.
We didn't get the one like stand-up guy in Bay Mega City, thank God.
No, well, that's probably if you'd rolled like a -6 and you'd be like, okay, why does this guy not like me? Probably it's either
I'm
because
for
he's
honor
fucking
and
paid
justice.
off, or
Oh,
he's
sweet
honorable.
sweet child, you're in the wrong genre.
See, no, that's the thing. Even with some of the like career outlines I've written, no, those people end up as freelancers because they get fired from their real jobs.
That's true.
Like if you're a journalist with a heart of gold in a cyberpunk future, you don't end up working at the New York Times or whatever anymore. You end up like streaming the truth out of your bathtub. What's up, everyone? This is Truth Watch. Now, you'd think you'd end up with like an Alex Jones ass media empire talking about turn the frickin' frogs gay, but those people are actually corporate, big money.
Yeah.
Not underground. Okay. Anybody else? You had plenty of time to think if you had anything else you wanted to accomplish before trial day.
I guess besides establishing the chip part, but I guess we could do that during the trial.
Like I said, you can just drop that on with Intel whenever. Okay.
I guess now that... Yep. All right, then I guess we'll just get out of the way.
Is there any more evidence that we need to submit before? Like, did we actually need to submit any evidence, like reveal intel to actually connect Calypso to the murder?
I would have submitted in an official capacity under my non-fake name the employee records when she was talking to.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to do is I didn't actually during the trial. I wanted to make sure we don't actually say NUP's name, but rather refer to it as a media company with a East Coast area code.
Yes. And to be fair, that is probably as direct as the evidence you have is. They are a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They're not sloppy. It's just,
could have been somewhere there, but like there's no direction.
I mean, you can be pretty sure that it's not whatever division of DWG still works in New York City.
Yeah.
Their corporate headquarters obviously are located in Anaheim, but they still have elements of other places.
I don't know.
Actually joked in the
twist.
fiction that in the basically the greater Orlando area, all the theme parks have been put under one umbrella and are just Wonderland, which is like a giant biodome city full of theme parks.
It's slightly terrifying.
Because Florida is an environmental hellhole and was abandoned by the rest of America to fall into the ocean. They're a little nettled about this.
No offense, Omega. But...
No, that's fair. But no, it's just that's why Republic of Florida is independent. Basically, everybody else wrote them off, and they were like, "No, fuck you. Miami Beach will be underwater."
Look, New Orleans and Florida are two places where you just go
poorly.
New Orleans and Florida are two of the places where I go. Someone higher up does not want you to live here. And keeps reminding you of this.
Yeah, this is also part of why New Orleans is established as an independent free city, because the power of Louisiana and the new Confederate States of America could not contain them. They were like, nah, Nolan's time.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that is basically how it is in fucking real life.
Yes.
There is New Orleans and then the rest of Louisiana.
The bayou.
Dog, it's the bayou.
You go into the bayou.
Don't
You
come
meet
out
the
of the bayou.
cybergator. You don't come out of the bayou.
I made Cybergator.
Oh, we haven't even gotten into. I need to work in all the ideas I have for bio
Dude,
drones.
there are 100%. I know this because it's part of my backstory. There are gangs who use those fucking like marshmobiles,
Yeah.
like the ones with the giant propellers in the back.
I mean, I'm sure there's a ready supply of sharks with freaking laser beams on their foreheads, so, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, you
ooh,
guys. I
and
don't think you
Dr.
guys
Evil.
there was an opportunity in the Northwest job to run into cyber bears. Like that was one of I think I pitched that even as one of Northwest's like black budget projects is they are like cyberizing grizzlars as bio drones.
Yeah.
But we didn't run into that one, which is a terrible shame because shirtless Claymore wrestling a robot bear would be great with his diamond buzzsaw teeth.
That would be
Now I'm just imagining. God, I just have that image of fucking the picture of Armstrong and the husband just arm wrestling.
Yeah, big muscles. Okay, all right, big muscles, no whammies. It's court day. So you guys are in your positions. You know.
Try set assign task.
Yeah, if you want to do that for the bonus, it is go time. While you're thinking about your exact language there, I'll give you a second. Basically, I'm imagining we do like a classic, camera pan shot. Outside on the curb, Squirrel is parked in his car, thumping away to Eurobeat. Camera ratchets up, moves through the security checkpoint, probably following, Theo and Shimo Roth and Metatron in his normal man disguise through the metal detector.
Yes.
Inside already, chilling on a park bench. Actually, this is a good question. Does Odin smoke?
No.
Okay. So, probably standing near the smoking lounge, but minding your own business. Odin is, on the comms, getting out there. I think the only thing we didn't clarify is where will Claymore be inside? Are you going to be attached to the defense
Yes.
bench? Okay. So that shot also probably, involves a couple of security guards, like, pointing their T-ray weapon scanners at your arms and just kind of like...
I'll right back at them.
All right. So, there's lots of filing in and stuff. And if you want to assign tasks, Odin, you can do so.
I think for Wolf will be...
Yeah, Wolf is not on camera, but...
Keep things under control.
Okay. Non-specific, but probably detailed enough to get some bonuses.
I'm... For Metatron, I'm not sure the word defend Theo works, but I feel like...
I guess just assist in Theo's defense is...
Yeah.
At least what you said you'd be doing? That's probably specific enough.
Yeah.
While still being open-ended.
I'm not sure for Squirrel, but I guess it's just be ready to move fast when the moment counts.
Deja vu.
Let me look at this. Here's the plan. When you plan a mission, everyone you assign a task to gets on with the Yes, just tell him to be, ready to move fast. That does work, because when he acts on the plan to be ready to move or to move fast, he would get the bonus.
Yeah, and then I guess for Claymore. Difficult because we're trying to avoid having a shootout, so it's like...
Yeah, you don't want to... I understand the pain. You don't want to tell Claymore...
to, like, keep it under control.
Be ready to Wolverine things, but also, like, you need to actually assign him a bonus to tasks that he will be good at, because otherwise he's just going to not do it.
Be intimidating.
Be scary.
Be yourself, but don't show it. Or I guess don't present it.
It's like
think
you're
don't
ashamed of
float a
me or
little better.
something.
Or I guess
I'm trying to be subtlety.
be yourself without needing to prove it.
I never need to prove it.
Well, in that case, it
Nah,
means
it's fine. He's
you
just
don't need to
no,
cut someone
no.
up to show that you are.
It's fine. We got the bonus. I understand what you mean.
Win the court case at all costs.
No, because that means there's no courtroom anymore.
I mean, that's not a win, though.
Yeah, no.
It could be part of your exit strategy.
I was hoping you would give me just defend Theo, because that covers both legal defense and if I have to fucking jump in front of him.
Okay, fair. Defend the. Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I think we've already.
I mean, you said defend Theo first. We can roll it back. I was the one who pitched in on that. Technically, acts as the author of his own destiny. It's just, I understand sometimes he's not sure how to word these.
Because it
also
turns
think
a lot of
he's
shit goes sideways, so it's like.
I also, think he should not back down necessarily when you guys, in character, talk funny about the things he says, because we're all talking. It is part of the move fiction first, explicitly, when you guys sat in a dark room with a single lampshade and some cups of coffee. And Odin told you, like, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this, break, go team. So, since, as I said, we did not put Wolf on camera, Wolf, are you attempting to, I don't know, covertly enter the courthouse?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Be.
You should roll cool, then.
I will do that.
Maybe trim my mustache hairs. They're getting them away.
That does happen.
That is an 8.
Wait, I need to roll
Alright,
my hold, actually.
Hold 1. Oh, yeah, you have a thing. All right.
See, all of my stuff is for the legwork phase. I don't do nothing in an action phase.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You might have to yell at some NPCs.
Well, no, I just mean all my abilities.
True.
Might
You
have
are
to
the
shout-
fixer.
Might have to shout objection.
Alright, so that's a 10 total, so I get 3.
It's your 3 hold to just teleport.
Or have something, but. And then
Well, I mean, that's
also-
handy considering you're not explicitly standing in the courtroom, so.
I also, because of one of my moves, I get a gear and intel because we started the mission. Or the action phase.
Okay. All right. Again, makes sense. You probably got like a little attaché case by your side, just in case you need something.
Yeah, it's
All
the
right.
angles. Yeah.
Okay, so, Wolf, you are, in disguise. You're moving about your business.
I would just be in disguised as a bailiff, one of the,
All right.
guards inside the courthouse, and
Yeah.
would probably try and take position by one of the entrance or exits to the courtroom.
All right. I guess the question I'll ask is, did you steal this uniform from a guy, or?
I would use my disguise kit for it.
Okay, yeah. So you use your own gear and stuff to get up. So some of the tools of the trade you're wearing are actually props. They are not,
Yeah.
You do not have your real lockpick gun and goo grenades and pepper spray. But they look convincing. Okay. So yeah, you find yourself in the courtroom ahead of time, just watching one of the doors, minding your business. Would you like to be, because you want to be one of the entrance and exits, do you feel like you would want to be by the little jury booth entrance? Do you want to be by the judge's chambers, or do you want to be by the main area in?
I'll be kind of relatively close by the witness stand.
Okay, yeah, so probably by the judge side. You're standing right up there under the main bench in the witness booth. There is no law. There's not an actual court stenographer. There is a service android with a holographic keyboard. who is also simultaneously recording through their eyes so that they can do courtroom sketches. That's just an Instagram filter. It's courtroom sketch. Sorry, Gram Insta. Nobody sue me. Mergers and acquisitions, everybody. Okay. So yeah, as the main party, Theo, Roth, Claymore, and Metatron are walking up. You guys, like I said, you see, Odin sitting on a bench next to a vending machine. Can of limeade in his hand, attaché case, tucked under the bench, just gives you, the covert nod and the wink. But as you stand in front of the courtroom, this is the first time you guys are all physically meeting Suzume Cardos. She kind of clack, clack, clack. Very tall, clacky heels.
There's actually
against,
knives in them.
Probably some nice, tile floors, some ceramics. No, I don't think she has knife heels, but you are. It's kind of a pity because I wanted to pitch this one earlier, but unfortunately, Dallas got boxed out of her PC before he could do too much digging. So she's probably wearing a very nice, very fancy suit with some like extra embellishments, slight lace ruffles around like the collar and sleeves, maybe a long scarf. But you guys notice that, despite the fact that we are indoors, she has what looks like a rapier at her hip and is wearing a dueling glove on her left side. Metatron, you probably know this because you're a Risto, and Claymore, you know this because you like fighting people. You guess that is a thermic rapier. It is a popular, completely consensual sport among the upper class of Pacifica to fight with superheated rapiers. Because you only need one little touch to get some zazz. And it's very flashy, but slightly dangerous.
I'm not from here, so I just think that's weird.
Yeah. And the glove.
Why can't you just beat the shit out of each other in a boxing match like civilized human beings?
How barbaric! It's a more elegant weapon for a more civilized age. But yeah, so probably kind of like clacks up outside. Eyes up, Roth. She's probably like, Roth? And he's like, Miss Cardos, does a big theatrical bow. She just kind of nods at you.
Polite nod.
Mm-hmm. Slight eye narrow. Looks at probably.
I will attempt to have no visible reaction to that.
Yes. Looks at, big boy Claymore is probably like, Roth, I see you've been hiring. Clearly, this is your new named partner. I assume, by the way, Claymore, you're in your suit you got, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, you look very fancy for you, but also you're huge and covered in chrome.
Yes. I give her double finger guns.
Adorable. Well?
Yes, no, it's all like... It's like I could say the same about that toothpick you carry.
Oh god, would I corpse at that? I might corpse at that.
She kind of, flexes the glove and says, well, if your work with Roth doesn't work out, I'd love to show you my dance moves sometime, but we are in a court of law.
Mm-hmm.
It is, merely an affectation of one who is registered among the Bay City's best dueling guilds. Fluff collar, show pins, so many society pins. In law school, Roth was too much of a coward to go to dueling. Roth is like, I do not see what fighting with swords has to do with practicing the law. Call me crazy.
Hey, sometimes in order to... No, it's like... No, I'm gonna turn... it's like, no, she has a point.
Correct.
You know what? You are very tall. I will acknowledge your point. And she's just like, don't try and come crawling back to a corp if you crash and burn on this case. Despite some interesting situations where we believe that our corporate subnet may have been illegally accessed, I am perfectly sure that all of your evidence is completely legitimate and obtained in an orderly way, just like mine is.
I assure you that our evidence is just as
Legitimate as
what's
yours.
the word I want to use?
Valid and legitimate.
Just as legitimate as yours.
Yeah.
On that, you have my word.
Hmm.
Because I don't think we actually ended up manufacturing any evidence.
We try to avoid that.
No, I believe you used your intel to get real ass evidence because choose your own adventure. And she just kind of, yes, well, I'll see you in court. Your evidence, your witness list is very interesting. By the way, are you planning the classic smokescreen, or are you just trying to bore the jury to death? Roth just kind of like gives a shrug, straighten his tie.
I assure you this trial will be anything but boring.
It will. I've never seen anything but a boring court case, except that
I
one
am
time
being
when
metaphorical.
Oh.
I kind of want
I love
Claymore
it.
to
I
finish
love
that
this
sentence, but also I think it's funnier if he does it.
The what?
I said I kind of want Claymore to finish that sentence, but I also think it's funnier if you don't.
Oh.
Whatever you feel like. But she will just kind of like, strokes her chin with her non-gloved hand. You, assistant. You have a very refined way of speaking. Have you been perhaps employed by any other legal firms previously?
Shit. I didn't think of a cover ID. Oh, no, I'll just go with what makes sense. This is my first employ in the Bay City area. I previously have worked out of the New Orleans territories. That's why my accent is slightly
much
French.
eye narrows, much lip purse. Pull a stray strand of hair out of her otherwise perfectly sharp hairstyle. Put it back in place.
I will attempt to not be intimidated.
Oh no, I'm scaroused instead.
Claymore is only merely wondering if after they fight they can go for dinner.
What is the appropriate way to ask someone to step on you? I mean, what?
Bobby? Sorry, Bobby?
Never. The answer is never.
Alrighty. Yeah, so, you guys have a little bit of banter, and she just, Anyway. After you, ladies first, Roth. And he's like, oh, ho, ho, your little joke. It's so cute. You've been
Claymore
saying
will
that
go
since
first,
law
then.
School. Perfect. Suzuki Cardus probably seems a little bit like, not really surprised, just kind of like, oh, wow, I didn't think he'd go for that kind of Okay.
Claymore marches by the beat of his own drum.
Yep. All right, so, you guys go in first, you sit down, Theo comes in. Sorry, I talked off mic. Theo comes in and sits with you. Cardos takes her desk. She's got a couple of, suited assistant goobers at her bench as well who, are just wearing big mirrory sunglasses and, shaved heads and just kind of sit there and go, shuffle, shuffle. Crowd filters in. You guys probably... Well, actually, I don't know. As discussed at how good Wolf is this and this, so I don't know if Wolf gives you a nod or anything to let you know that he is one of the bailiffs. But one of the bailiffs is definitely Metatron's, asset.
Yes.
Flashes
He looks
you the
perfectly normal, except he has a hairstyle akin to Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Like Zoinks Metatron. Zoinks, Metatron. You got any chrome snacks?
Wolf would have let everyone know that he's in the courtroom via comlink, which is encrypted. So,
Yeah.
Sick.
I'll send you the cybercom equivalent of a thumbs up.
Metatron, your asset flashes you the double secret gang sign under the table. Let you know it's them, even though you know it's them. All right. So the judge comes in, still wearing big judgy robes. Got a big tall judgely hat. I'm trying to think what's the most cyberpunk we can get for a judge. Probably giant, multifaceted cyber eyes. Got 6 lenses with multiple zoom settings.
Omega, I've got it.
Oh yeah.
Cyber arm attachment, retractable gavel.
Yeah. One of his arms is just the gavel. Clunk, clunk. Order in my court. Big bushy beard, which is silver. Despite the big robe and older face lines, probably looks fucking ripped under those robes too. Just kind of sits down. The judge's name is. I'm supposed to name everything, so do a theory. No, that's funny, but that's too silly.
No, let's leave that one in.
Do I just do that one? Yeah, that's fine. The Right Honorable Judge, Template Riker, Judge Riker. Court is now in session for the trial of People versus Theo Estevin. Clang, clang. Big clangy gavel. The jury will now be let in, and then the two sides will present their opening statements. Anything else we need to talk about before we get started, counsel? Big zoom eyes. Cardis is just kind of like, I'm ready, Your Honor. You guys want to mutter anything to Roth before you get started?
I don't think so.
Nah, I'm not really in my element here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. As smooth as a talker as I am, I don't really think I know much about law.
Yeah. So, the jurors are let in. They're told to do all the things, the usual jury pitching, all that stuff. The two sides offer their opening statements. Cardos basically says, runs through the play-by of the line, a private evening, secluded, left their security. Estevez is a powerful, up-and-coming man, obviously very well off because he installed these brand new skill wires. The defense may try and obscure the truth by saying it was an accident or some other, element of conspiracy, but we plan to present a case here that it could only have been deliberate action, premeditated, etc. Ready to, goes through all those lines. Evidences, witnesses, etc. Roth gives his opening statement. It is, it's not a pitch perfect counter to everything, but because, again, Metatron leaked him their case notes. It is a very good rebuttal to the talking points that the prosecution has, and he's basically just like, the prosecution will try to tell you that only our client could have done it, but we're here to prove that once again, the Bay Mega, BCPD and the consulting prosecution has rushed to conclusion with the first obvious answer. is going to carry out a gross miscarriage of justice. It could have been anybody. It could be me. It could be you. No, he doesn't do that bit from Meet the Spy.
I mean, then I'm gonna have to shoot somebody.
That's why I have my gun.
Yeah, so, they run through all that. You guys can kind of feel your general gist of things. The tone in the courtroom is kind of, excited, anticipatory, lots of cameras, lots of going, kind of streaming, running through. You got a couple bit to set up, and then, the day begins. They're going to run through their witnesses. So I think the easiest way to do this is to just do the witness list in the list that I have everybody down, which would mean that your extra special witness is at the climax.
How appropriate.
So that means that they're going to call their first witness first, which would be Jacqueline Blake. Again, we do this kind of thing where we run through and we say, what do you do kind of stuff and slide back and forth. So, sorry, it's not cooling off as rapidly today. My room's a little warm even though I got my window open. So, like I said, we'll kind of... Yeah, she doesn't know how close. We'll kind of run through their journal statements, and I'll ask if you guys have any input, after they say their gist. I will not literally transcribe everything of their statements because that would be silly. And
Yes.
obviously, those of you who are not directly present in the courtroom, you're watching along the stream.
Can Roth basically press her on can like skill wires be used to cause like other effects like blacking out and whatnot?
Yes, if you want to lean that way.
Yeah, let's.
And remember, you guys can spend the intel for the malware thing whenever you like, as discussed.
I would also just want to, just to like piggyback off that, I would want to, because she's obviously going, this couldn't have been an accident, but I would just be asking Roth to press her on, can you assure that these mechanics were not tampered with in any way?
All right.
Well, I think what we really need to do for this witness, at least, just make sure that she says that there's a chance that either effect could happen.
Well, yeah, I would like to basically spend an intel and reveal that skill wires, if manipulated, can cause the user to black out.
I don't think you need to say an intel for that. I think that just tracks in the fiction. They are wired to your peripheral nerves. The spending an intel would be to reveal that. And by the way, we tested this chip he had in his skill wires, because remember, it is based on chips.
Oh, yeah.
There's malware in it.
Yes, so then I would like to spend it for that, to basically cause Theo to black out then. Yeah,
so basically, the prosecution leads with their direct examination first, and they're just like, okay, you're an expert witness, blah, 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 give us your credentials. She rattles off, all the schools she studied, the clinics she's worked at, however many years of experience she would have, quite a lot, honestly. Probably not since the Singularity War, but obviously been in this field a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, like I said, the prosecution's pitch to her is basically just so, here's our records of where Theo had this procedure done, what model he had installed, etc., based on, warrants and inquiries and stuff, costs and things. What is your opinion? And basically, she's just, says in DirectX, yes, in my professional opinion, there's no way to have a malfunction of this quality of cyberware to accidentally engage it. It would have to be deliberately engaged somehow. And then you switch to CrossX, and you guys feed Roth his lines, and you get ready with the evidence stuff. And I'm just wondering, do you want to make you guys do any moves for that?
I actually want to ask Roth permission to ask the witness questions.
I believe you can do that. Do you want to do that directly with the malware pitch as presented by?
No, I'll let Roth handle that. I wanna, because that he's better at.
So do you
that
want
kind
to
of
do
thing.
you want to ask her some questions, some lead up questions
Yeah,
before that reveal,
basically,
or
yeah.
after?
I basically want to, because as my character is, I'm not an expert in cyberware and manufacturing of cyber gear. So I basically want to question her as a, obviously not to her level expert, but as a
layman.
as a person who is knowledgeable of like, I know, like, and like, can you assure us that there were no like manufacturing errors and no in how secure is this specific model? Basically that kind of thing.
In that case, I would actually, that's literally a question on the research list. I would like you to roll mind to basically, can you ask her the right questions? She is a source of information.
I think I have something. Oh no, never mind. That wouldn't apply now.
No, I believe that's when you're in computers.
No, I have something else with research.
Oh, okay.
But it has nothing to do with this.
Yes.
Because it would literally need for someone to be to know who I am. So, no. Oh, also, it's street level, so that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I am a smart motherfucker, and my rolls haven't given out yet, so that is a 12.
All right, so you ask how secure is the Skillwire's implant. And by the way, you can ask a follow-up question from that research list as well if you want to. But yeah,
basically I just want to get at like
you get intel.
Not because she's coming at this obviously from malfunction in terms of like malfunction from production.
Yes.
I just want to question, mate, how resistant is this particular model to outside tampering?
And I'll say, because you've asked it and you're going for this pitch, she does set up, Roth's spike pretty easily, because she does, when you ask her the right question, she does admit, well, so the Skillwire's implant, works by directing your peripheral nervous system. It allows you to perform physical actions that you don't, without you needing to learn those skills. It mimics the appropriate reflexes of somebody with, muscle memory, as they say. Though obviously that's, blah, 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 very simplistic. Jacqueline Blake, I think, is, a very, probably, kind of classic doctor type look. Like, she's probably not wearing a white coat right now, but like, nice coat, layers, AR glasses on her face, hair kind of pulled back. Probably somewhere in her early middle age, maybe, looks polite, professional, intelligent.
Yes.
So she, basically does admit, so it's got those complexities because it has a physical interface system. It is possible to subvert the software of a skillware, but that would require, access to some kind of illegally tampered with chip. Skill chips that are sold on the open market are, carefully regulated and restricted. You can't normally get access to skill chips for like how to build bombs and stuff. Obviously those exist for those of illicit means, and yeah, she basically sets up the
illicit cyberware. Never heard of it.
Yeah, it would be possible for someone to slot a chip that could have a negative effect and cause, either an external user to get remote access to the skill wires or some other process like that. She probably sees, Cardos giving her like a sharp eyebrow from the prosecution's bench, and she tries to, hedge a little, like, but obviously that would be like really complicated and kind of a pain in the ass to do, sort of a thing. Do you wish to ask any follow-up questions on the research list? Where would I find X? How secure is X? Who or what is related to X? Who owned or employed X?
Well, yeah. Just how secure? Like, just go over.
Well, you already
the
asked how
security.
secure is. That's the question we answered.
Oh,
said,
then yeah, no, I don't
secure,
really.
yeah. Okay.
I don't really have any.
That's fair. I feel no reason to force you to ask questions off these specific lists if you don't have them. Okay.
Yeah,
you do mechanically get.
I'm just setting this up so Roth can spike it.
Yeah.
Basically.
And you basically say, "I have no further questions." Turn over to Roth, and he has,
I see to defense lead.
Yeah, big digital printouts. Whips them up, throws them up on the virtual whiteboard, and he's like, "This was the skillware chip that this was the skill chip that Mr. Estevez had slotted in that evening. Our computer experts have detected malware inside. What sort of effect would this malware have? And does the thing that, like he was describing earlier, the pitch, and it's basically like she's under oath, so she has to admit that this would cause, malfunctions in your peripheral nervous system to basically cause you to enter a state of sensory depot or, temporarily lose consciousness from, like, oxygen restriction or something. And basically, like, make you black out for an indeterminate period. And then he's like, okay, cool, no further questions, bye. Anything else you wish to do with that witness?
How
No.
much intel do we have left? One?
I think it's back up to at least 2.
Okay, 2. Okay.
2 or 3?
No, we have 2 left because we used one on the malware ship.
Yes,
we got
used
one
one and then you
for
got
me.
it right back. So it was.
Okay,
Oh, right. Yes. No, you have another extra because when you begin the action phase, Axe adds a gear
Okay.
in it.
Okay, so we're at 3. Okay, cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3. So if you have nothing further for her, I think through your clever use of intel and moves, you have pretty handily managed to win those points off that witness. The general jury vibes, and obviously, if any point you wish to closely study something in a manner that might result in a mechanic, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could assess the courtroom or the judge or the jury, etc.
Actually, yeah, no, that is. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say we're only in the beginning. Like we can probably take a few.
No,
I'm just letting you know that is a mechanical thing that whenever you take a pros, you can work on.
I don't have any questions about the jury because obviously their opinions will go every kind of which way. I do because I feel like we kind of are. I feel like I wish I'd looked more into this beforehand, but I do want to assess the judge.
Okay, sure. You want to assess template.
Okay. I got a 7, or 7 and 9. So.
All right, you can ask one.
Well, at least it didn't go horribly wrong.
Does he look? Okay, I don't know how to phrase this in a question that would be on the list. Does he look more amenable to either side of the courtroom?
I mean, I guess would be? Yeah, it would probably be who or what is in control here.
Yeah, is this a judge who favors the defense, who favors the prosecution, or are they just kind of in the middle?
So you're looking at the judge, you're trying to figure out, how he's disposed, is who's in control of the situation. And I think that is probably the best way to phrase that is you expect this from a courtroom, but obviously you guys are engaged in rampant shenanigans and antics, some of which is definitely illegal, even if your case is mostly solid.
Yes.
And that is the judge is in control here. He is not overtly influenced one way or the other to either side. It's still pretty early in the trial. Okay. None of you have really busted out any major courtroom shenanigans, so he's not annoyed at either lawyer or the defendant or anything like that. He's not upset with the crowd of people. He hasn't really acknowledged the presences of the bailiffs at all, other than just calling them out for normal courtroom proceedings and stuff. So he is the judge. He is in control here. He is not freaking out. He is not being bullied by either side. So we're starting in a pretty neutral space. This could go either way.
Okay.
And I don't think you guys need to roll anything to let you guys know that because of Metatron's successful PR campaign, while the jury's not supposed to be influenced and would have been sequesters and shit, there's only so much sequestration you can do. They are probably riding the general populace's vibe, and that is definitely more positively disposed towards Theo. Metatron kind of turned this situation from a sensationalist tabloid into a national tragedy shit. So everybody in general is really sad and sympathetic.
And that's what I was going for.
All right. So their next witness they're going to call is the bellhop. So it's a good thing that Odin and Squirrel are not in this room.
That is very true. I forgot about him. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, but he's on the list. To remind everybody, his name is Brigham Portner.
I thought it was bellhop.
No, it's not bellhop. It's still Brigham Portner, which is still an incredible one. But yeah, so he gets pulled up. He is still wearing his little office uniform. You think he got called in directly from work. He kind of resembles that same, kind of squirrely, nervous guy. Got a little bit of a widow's peak, got some tiny glasses. Resembles what Squirrel and Odin would have told you about him. The prosecution basically calls him up to run down, like, hey, do you recognize that guy? Point to Theo in the defense stand, kind of a thing. Did you ask any questions? Show a picture of Allegro. Do you recognize this lady? Was she with him? Et cetera, et cetera. So basically, his testimony is reaffirming, yes, Allegro and Theo were there. They checked in. He handled their, their quote unquote luggage, which is they didn't have any, but he did, take them up there. He was also delivered them a meal, surf and turf with some white wine. And the prosecution tries to get a little bit of a dig, like, so a whole bottle of wine, 2 glasses, kind of a thing, maybe playing up a possible, like, inebriation angle, because Theo doesn't have a cyber liver yet.
Nope.
So what do you guys, to pitch it in the language the game likes, what do you guys want to do with that? Do you have any questions for the bellboy or anything you want to try and spring at him?
I want to pull an angle to see if we can get him to speak about seeing other people there. Like, can we get him to confirm if Callisto was there? But I'm trying to think of it as a way that doesn't necessarily tip our hand.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because she's a witness, she's not in the... Well, actually, I don't know.
We could obfuscate it a little bit by asking... we could have Roth or someone ask if anyone else on the witness list was a member of, or a... what's the term for it?
Is anyone else relevant to the case?
No, not relevant to the case. That's way too broad.
It's...
But what's the term for
the most
staying
direct
at a
way
hotel?
would be like show pictures if you want to obfuscate it.
Well, because we could make... Because I don't want to
tip off... I don't want to tip off the prosecution that we got a fucking pretty strong...
That, you have an extra... Yeah, that she's important.
Yeah.
There are probably ways. I think the best way to abstract this is, and since you brought it up, Claymore, I would like you to roll to act under pressure to race against the clock. Before the judge is like, okay, no further questions, we're closing it up. Think of an angle. If not Odin, Metatron wants to help you, he can roll help or interfere.
I will roll help.
Okay. So roll plus your links.
I roll with bonds, right?
Yeah, with links.
Sweet, I have a great...
What is act under pressure again? Edge?
Cool.
Oh, I have okay.
Whatever help does, Claymore is fucking helped.
Okay, you take a +1 forward, and also Metatron is not on the hook for if you fuck it up.
Well, it's fine because I rolled an 8 on dice, and I have a +2 cool, so that's 10 and 11 with the +1.
Yeah. All right, you do it, no problem. All right, yes. So you are able to you and Metatron huddling together are able to think quickly enough to figure out a way to ask him if, well, out of character we can say if he recognizes Calypso Watson there, but without necessarily picking her out. Maybe
I'm gonna say anyone on the witness list.
Yeah.
Because it could also be I could also be asking about what's his face.
Yeah.
Douchemick Paparazzo.
Because I want to basically, if we get her on the witness stand, she says I wasn't there. I want to be able to like pull out the bellhop and be all like, this man says you were there.
You can cross-reference his testimony. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, probably shows like names and faces of the witness list, and asks casual questions like, do you recognize any of these people? Did you see any of them there that night? Kind of a thing. Yeah. Yes. And normally the lawyer would go, I'd like you to point them out to me. And he's just like, yes, all right. Want that noted down for the record? No further questions, Your Honor. At this point, Cardus is probably look a little, not really nervous, but like concern-fused. Like she definitely thinks the defense is taking a different playbook than she thought you were doing. And like, she's not like worried, but she's definitely like, okay, I have no idea what the fuck your angle is. What's going on here?
Lady, I wish we could tell you.
Yeah, she doesn't understand that you're flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
We tried to be like, we're
Best
not winging it,
technology
but
out
we're
there.
very much jumping.
See the pants technology.
I mean, we have a result we want. We just kind of winging our way to the conclusion.
Yup.
All right. So the next one on the list is QR.
Yeah.
QR is brought up. She, lights up a cigarette in a long cigarette holder. The judge is like, madam, please smoke only in smoking areas. And she just kind of, and just, pinches it off with her fingertips.
Ever a showman.
Snips it right off with her nails.
Showwoman? Show person.
The person of the show.
Chopin.
So the prosecution's line with this is, how well did you know Theo? How well did you know Allegro? About their information and stuff. At some point, I'm trying to think. Yeah, you guys didn't let QR in on your plan, so she's probably a little feisty. At some point, the prosecution probably asks about treating her as hostile, so they can ask some more direct questions. And just in general, like, basically their line is they're trying to introduce, reasons Theo could have had for a deliberate act of violence against Allegro. The prosecution probably asks some very spicy questions about, like, how far QR's alleged relationship with Theo went, how much he knows about, the relationship with Theo and Allegro, unsubtly. Were they having the sex?
I will object at not of their relationship between Allegro, but I would basically object for relevancy on the a relationship between Theo and QR. I don't know if I'll get it, but I will say it.
Get some stuff in there. Roll style. Objection is basically blustering.
I don't know what this is, but I got an 8.
Okay, NPCs do it, but I mean, it's phrased it as someone will find out, but that advances the countdown clock. So yeah, that makes sense. You're building the tension in the scene. You're starting to interact with the prosecution and with the judge and stuff, so it's starting to tick up a little. That is your second tick on the action clock. You have 1, 2, 4, full 4. I think a full 4 slots left before shit gets square shaped, but not Squarespace, not sponsored by. But yeah, so yeah, you do actually get your objection to pass, but like it's noted once again, Cardos kind of gives you the gimlet side eye. Thoughts, feelings, questions. So you manage to keep her from asking some of her spicier questions that get to the heart of this, but yeah, she basically is definitely leaning on like trying to imply or like trick QR into implying that maybe Allegro and Theo's relationship was more for like the show, the cameras, even though you guys obviously based on what you've talked to people about is not true.
Yeah.
And try and make it seem like there was more tension there than maybe there was. And that there was motive behind this. But you managed to, like I said, cut off some of her spicier questions with objections. Do you guys have any questions for QR?
I don't know. I'm very real. This is the one I'm like, I don't know what to do with her.
Well, maybe we can use her to appeal to the jury. Because this is what it's eventually going to come down to. There's someone that knows everybody. If we can somehow make use QR, who's, a social, in the socials, to speak more positively on Theo's and Allegro's relationship and appeal, and, and all that. We can make a positive, make positive numbers on the jury. So yeah, we should probably, I had a word in my head and I completely lost it. We should, we should just, lay some questions and, ship fucking Theo Allegro. That's what it was.
All right. Yeah, you can just pitch to Roth to ask her softball questions about their relationship.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I actually need to make that a... Nah, we'll just narrative first that happens. So, yeah. We already had our mechanic for this witness. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to slowball you, but I'm also not trying to speedball you either.
Mm-hmm.
Give you your interaction with everybody.
Well, I'm trying to come up with something for everybody, so...
I definitely have more stuff. Yeah, I have more stuff for Calypso and Theo, but I don't really have much for QR, and I just kind of want to punch the paparazzi dude.
Oh, should we?
But I don't think it'll go over well in court.
See what happens about that one.
Claymore's gonna lean back to whisper to Metatron's like, "Yo, should we? The Mez come? Like, is the Mez next?"
No, it should be grant access next, I think.
Nah, whatever about that dude. But like, yo, about the Mez, we confront him about his blackmail.
I think it depends on how much the prosecution can get out of him. If it starts getting bad, then I think we should. But if he, and this is a big if he manages to keep his mouth shut about a lot in court and doesn't say anything too dumb, then just leave it as it is.
Well, I do want to say this because I established this earlier. While the prosecution has been like vetting and deposing him, Mezzanine is technically on your witness list, so Roth will question him first, and then the prosecution gets to respond.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
So, how do you guys want to play that? You can think about that.
It's like,
you got at least one witness to go through.
Yeah.
I don't want to directly. I don't think we should directly say anything about blackmail.
Well, like, here's the thing, though. If we want to spin this narrative, we're gonna need to establish the means.
You're right, and I think we need to question him on if he let anyone know where those two were. Not, like I said, not directly like, were you being blackmailed? But because we need to get him. I don't think I don't think he works well with confrontation.
No, Claymore is in the room though. I might be able to Claymore might be able to Can I silently pressure somebody?
Yeah, no, you can. You're you, so you can attempt to hardball people without saying anything.
Yeah, no.
And that just means that if you fuck it up, somebody catches you making murder gestures at them and is like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just more worried he's gonna
I will say that for purposes of getting your point across, I don't want to overly gamify this and fuck you over. It is possible to call people back for further things. I do think Dallas is correct though that if you want this plan to go off, you probably want to at least introduce the line that he may be having something worth concealing and could have leaked the data.
Okay, so
you can bring it, because if you don't introduce it at all, then you don't have any reason.
Yeah, we need to bring it up, but yeah. I just think we don't want to go. I mean, unless something goes really bad, I don't want to bring that. That's a situation that they need to handle. We don't want this to turn into a clown show too much. You know what I mean?
Okay. But I did, like I said, I knew he was coming up, and that is one of the linchpins in our final plan.
We need to bring it up because he is the person that knew where they were.
Yes. Okay.
But I don't think we need to be like, did NUP throw a brick through your house window?
Yeah.
All right.
Or the corporation with the East Coast area code, as we like to say.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. So Roth wraps up QR's testimony. You go through all those steps. When he asks the right question, she gets to basically lean very heavily on expounding they were sweet together.
I had a question.
What's up?
Oh my god, sorry. Whose side is, or who's calling grant access. Is that defense or prosecution?
Prosecution,
Okay, of
because
course.
he is the initial eyewitness to the crime scene. So they'll run through that later.
I'm really tempted to ask to treat him as hostile and just have Claymore suplex him, but no, that would
not technically what that means. It might get you in
No,
trouble.
I understand.
Order,
It means
order.
it means you can get close to them.
It's true. You can't get up there and stuff. But no, Claymore might still do his hardball move because again, we're gonna talk about whether or not he recognizes that man who beat him up because he looks different. But also, does he
Also
look
got
that different?
backpacked.
I mean, I cold cocked him and then put a bag over his head. So as long as I keep my mouth shut, I
True.
should be
Yeah.
okay.
He knows that you did list the make and model of your cyber claws to him, so
Yep.
probably don't whip those out, but you don't want to do that anyway. That would be rude. But yeah, if you don't talk, you probably shouldn't be able to cotton on.
No, that's only if NUP starts sending fucking cyber ninjas at us.
I mean, if I need him to shut up, I could just show off my fucking hands and just be like, and he might get it. That
Just
could
pop
be,
out a talon out of your thumb and run it across your throat, just like. Schnick.
and that might be enough. But that also might put him on a fucking threat clock. I don't fucking know.
But yeah, QR goes through the motions, and she goes back to sitting nicely in the gallery. She makes sure to sit in a place so that the cameras make sure to get her in all the shots.
Mm-hmm.
And that indeed means that Grant Access is next. Oh, Grant Access, yeah?
No.
I need to practice the voice for tomorrow. He is divested of all his camera equipment and drones and stuff. Though when giving his name, age, and occupation and stuff, he makes sure to shill himself independent journalist. You can contact me at yes, that's enough.
Tough crowd.
And just runs through all the lists. Oh no, I suspect that you guys would immediately tell. Cardos doesn't like this fucking weasel either. And if he weren't like her literal best eyewitness, with the big play where now she gets to pull up the footage and be like, yes, is this the footage you recorded? And it's the shock of like the dazed looking Theo kind of like sitting on the bed leaning over Allegro, checking out her neck wound, inflicting her neck wound, who knows. So yeah, she gets to drop that big pizzazz here and show some of the footage and stuff. Question him, but like you can tell that like if she had her way, Cardos would just play his video and like hold her glove over his mouth, but he needs to give eyewitness testimony and say, yes, that's right, that's my footage. Top of the quality footage, if I may say myself. Quiet you. Lots of be quiet. So yeah, this is one of their big plays. The footage is obviously like very shocking and theatrical, but as we like to say in the biz, it does not show the exact moment when the thing happened. So you've got some wiggle room. How would you guys like to approach Grant Access as a witness?
Honestly, I think the best route to go, and honestly, I'll divert to Roth if he thinks I'm wrong, but I think the best route to go with him is character assassination.
What do you mean?
Like
that was the route I was
paparazzi.
going to say is Roth's default as well.
Yeah,
by the way,
it's
because
like
you
he's
guys
a
are having
paparazzo.
cryptid cybercoms out the wazoo. Those of you who are not physically present on the defense's bench, feel free to chime in because everybody's on their cyberphone at all times.
Just be like, he's a paparazzo. He's only in this for the money. He's going to make the footage as shocking as possible. Of course, it looks like that. Can we really trust this is undoctored, unedited? He's made a career out of doing that.
Also,
That kind of shit.
It also doesn't show anything
Well,
directly incriminating.
No, it shows things incriminating.
yeah,
Even if it's not actually incriminating, it looks bad.
Yes.
yeah, but
But like,
oh,
like
actually,
Oh, you got something?
are you got an idea?
oh no, for character assassination, he has drones that were peeking in windows and stuff, right? Like
Yes, that is known.
that is known. So let's just character assassination. Who knows what else he's been doing? Like what other fucking things
He
he
only
had.
saw this because of illegal eavesdropping anyway.
It's true. He did have a privacy screen defeating drone, which you know about for reasons that Claymore beat him up and yelled at him.
Mhm.
So yeah, okay, you feed all that to Roth. No, honestly, you guys work pretty hard in working this guy over. We'll let it stand. We'll ride the narrative out. You guys know what your play is. No real move here.
Yeah.
So Roth just brings it up and is like, "Sir, are you or are you not?" There's a pause here where you could feel like he's trying to not pick an adjective that's just weasel of a man. But you are an independent
Are you
journalist.
not the scum of the earth?
Dallas, I was about to say the exact same fucking thing. How dare you?
Are you not a scum-sucking bottom feeder?
Look,
Alright, what was
paparazzis are one of those universal professions that just everyone hates. I feel like it.
Well, yeah, it's just by its very nature. It's usually like very invasive, sensationalized, and just rude.
Also,
Like,
people really easy willing to do lawsuits over
Also,
trying to get the fuck out of my face. and leave me
in
alone.
reality, as far as celebrities go, it's completely unimportant harassment, basically.
Yeah.
Like, these people don't actually have power in most cases. Like, there's no reason to expose them. Like, I'm all for an expose on, like, a politician or something, but
It's just
For
it's
the
just
most
that
part,
weird
it's just
parasocial vibe,
vapid.
which is
Yeah.
very much what it is. Nobody really should give a fuck that like this,
like,
cool, hunky, pretty actor boy and this, sweet pop sensation, idol are like drinking wine and making out in their own private
No.
time. But the fact that
But
they
they
feel the
do.
need to do that is kind of why this situation happened. If they could like go out in public and not have a be a big stupid deal, no one would be dead. And Roth lays that on him too. Sure, we'll say that. Roth gives him the old, well, actually, if you think about it, this is your fault. Because of you and your kind were not relentlessly pursuing. They could have just, gone to a restaurant like normal people. But yeah, like, obviously, I think the, the character assassination, he is an independent. He is doing this for money. He is using, modified drones. He asks him about, permits and stuff for technology, and Grant Access has to hedge his bets and say things, very, very specifically. Hell, he could probably technically... it probably wouldn't be called pleading the fifth anymore because I don't know that the Pacifican Constitution is written in the same order, but he invokes his right to avoid self-incrimination probably a couple of times, which never looks good to the jury. Always sucks.
No.
No.
Yeah.
At this
Even
point,
if
do
you're
that when
clean
you-
as a whistle, if you call in the fifth,
That is-
invoke the
The
fifth
no
right.
comment.
Yeah, the no
That is
comment.
something you do when you're being arrested, not when you're on stand.
Yeah. It's just it's sketchy as hell. So the end result is that the footage is very shocking, and it sure looks in the direction like we want to present this, and it makes him look like he's right there, she's dead, her blood is everywhere. If he didn't do it, how does he not know who did it, And actually,
Yeah.
I'll probably in a couple of questions I'll ask you if you guys want to, because you did say you wanted to call. I remember from last time you want to actually get Theo on the stand and talk through his business so you can introduce some
Yes.
concepts, but we'll talk about what order you want to do that in.
I definitely
But,
want to save
like-
Cleo for last.
Okay, Calypso.
So probably Theo, then Calypso.
Okay. Sounds all right.
You
Yes,
good with
that's
that, Lucky?
good.
Or everyone else too?
yeah, no, sounds good to me.
Yes, everybody is
Yeah,
present. Like I said,
Yep,
you're all
fucking weird.
Good.
you're all comsed up. So if you have any sudden moves you want to do, and don't you worry, I have. We'll see if your guys' dice let things get weird and dramatic. I've got a couple of hardball plays,
something goes outside-
Don't worry, Omega.
I
I'm
do-
the social person. I'm doing rolling. Of course, my dice will let things get weird.
But I do want to, like, after Grant is, I do want to gauge the jury and the judge and see how they're,
Okay.
see if I can
So you want
hear.
to take a read of the courtroom?
Yes, yeah, just the whole courtroom, I want to say, yeah.
Recess. You can do that. You are studying a place or situation.
I will assist.
Right.
Because I have very high links with Claymore. I success.
Okay, you get a +1 on this as well.
2.
And you guys are,
I'm not incorrect in this.
honestly,
right,
the
Claymore? Our links are
Metatron
+3.
Claymore dynamic we've talked about. You guys do make a pretty decent buddy cop. Good cop, bad cop.
What, you mean the father-son duo?
It
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. I'm the father you never had, I guess. But
No, you're basically just like my dad. That's the
Oh.
problem.
You're just like his actual dad.
Yeah.
but
You're ex-mill.
And you can
And
even
Cybermill.
do the never talk to me or my son ever again.
but the I got a 9 total. So
All right, you got one.
Actually, let me check the list here. I Assess.
And I can ask you clarifying questions about your intent. So, feel free to, like I said, loosey-goosey some of the questions. Right up.
Sorry, I'm trying to think. Well, no, actually, no, I think this will be pretty good. What do I notice despite an effort to conceal it? I think that might be
Okay.
might be best serving it.
Yeah, about the courtroom situation. Okay, so I'm trying to conceal it. The jury's not really concealing everything. They're the jury. They're pretty open. Most of them are pretty interested. That whole thing with grant access got very dramatic and full of pathos, so they're on the ball. The judge isn't really concealing anything. He's the judge. Since the action clock did step up one point, there are probably a few objections going back and forth between the two benches, and the judge might be getting a little bit more okay, kids, cool off.
Oh, I'm pretty sure when we're trying to attack Grant's character, the prosecution was like, "Hey, stop that."
Yes, no, there are some dodged objections, some sustains and some stuff, There's probably at least one overruled, but watch yourself, defense. Love it when judges do that. Because the judge could just arbitrarily decide, okay, you get one. If he feels like it. The prosecution is not really concealing that she and her staff are befuddled, as I said before. I think the main thing, conceal-wise is, what's the best thing here? I mean, I could just say there is nothing really being concealed. But no, that doesn't read quite true. There's a lot of drama going on here. Let's see. What probably is being most concealed, though? Well, I guess I can ask you clarifying questions. When you're saying, noticing despite an effort to be concealed with the situation, are you looking for a particular angle from one of the parties, or are you just trying to be, because technically if you're just looking for a gotcha, that might be what potential complication would be a better question. So
yeah, let's go with that one then.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you think you would prefer that angle? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to figure
fair
out.
Enough. It's okay. And this is why the game says, hey, I can ask clarifying questions to make sure we get the answers we want. Because effort to conceal feels like it's a little hard to make that one ring true. But potential complication. Honestly, I think the in this case, I will say the potential complication right now is still that you need to be wary of is still the prosecution booth. Obviously, your witnesses you're going to call later. You're going to, Theo on the stand. You're going to bring Calypso on the stand. Those are moments of risk. It is very risky to put your client on the stand because then the prosecution gets to ask lots of pointed questions they have to answer truthfully. And obviously with Calypso, that's the whole, crux of this is getting her on the stand and asking her questions about where she was and what she was doing enough to make her look suspicious and give you the wiggle room you need to pitch your greater corporate conspiracy theory. The main thing you need to be wary of in that case is how's the prosecution going to play this? Cardos is probably paid no matter what the result is, she's here on pay time. They probably give bonuses for convictions, but it's not like she looks like she's hurting for money either. But also, you can probably guess from her, slightly childish taunting at the earlier. She's got an ego, like a lot of prosecutors, She's not doing this necessarily out of, zest for putting criminals in jail. It's just this is probably, the spiciest, most public way to do this style of law.
Mm-hmm.
And she is on camera, so she probably doesn't want to look like a doofus on national television. So depending on how she decides to take, her side, the prosecution's response to your defensive tactics, this could get weird. And that weirdness could be that just she has enough of your insults and throws a glove at one of you. Which
Please
would make for
me.
great television, but would not be very productive for either party other than for her ego.
Please not.
Or
me.
it could be she calls the judge for whoa, the defense is saying some wild shit. Call a recess, judge. Hold on, kind of a thing, and just totally interrupts your flow. You don't know how she's gonna take your pitch because the prosecution is fairly lost right now. Like, they're sticking to their game plan. They don't think that you've got them yet because they haven't run through the whole list, you know? And, like, obviously she has her own plans for Mezzanine on the stand. But, like, you see a lot of, like, her, you know, Humpty and Dumpty, you know, her two shiny-headed, you know, guys with her, you know, doing a lot of shuffle papers, you know, kind of a thing. So yeah, that's where we're at. I think before we jump to the next witness, though, yeah, Wolf is still lurking. Audacity is doing a little bit of a. Okay, I think it's fine. I do want to pause anyway, though, because I need to take a break. We've been going for about 2 hours, so.
All right,
Everybody, get up and stretch.
I will pause the recording then.
Oh, I think it's even better for you because it's edge instead of mind, or edge instead of style, rather.
I don't have edge either, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
But
Reputation: when you meet someone who consequence who might have heard of you, roll edge. On a hit, say what they know about you. On a 10+, take +1 forward. On a miss, I decide what you've heard about you, if anything. Either you or the NPC can say who is of consequence. But
Well,
once
even
you
if I
make
have
the move
low
on
edge.
somebody, they are of consequence, and they will be a recurring part of the story.
yeah, no, I can buy some edge up.
I think it can fit. Okay, but anyway, so we were discussing kind of what to do. So Orion is next, and you guys, because he is your witness, meant as a character witness to talk about, you know, what Theo is like. Could he have done this? What was his relationship with a Lego wreck? Basically, continue what I think the prosecution thinks your strategy is, because you're kind of like smoke screening your real defense here. You're basically trying to like pitch to the jury like the prosecution is just wrong. There's no way he could have done this as a premeditated act. And
Theo's a good boy.
yes.
Theo's a good boy.
I mean, they're not wrong. That is part of our defense.
Yes, but you also have some zingers to like completely box out any prosecution's attempt to get any kind of, you know, any kind of charge laid on Theo and just be like, no, it was a whole thing. So Orion Mezzanine is going to show up. So what do you guys want to, any, you know, conference with Roth, you know, scribbling notes and stuff as he is, you know, calling him to stand. How do you want to handle this? Because you guys go first.
Is fucking the Mez sober and look dressed well?
Well, there's probably a question mark because his sense of style, man. But he does appear to be sober.
Okay.
He's got some dark circles under his eyes. Like maybe he hasn't been sleeping great the past couple of days, and he's a little jittery. But like, he is in probably a more professional pattern of suit. There's no like latex or vinyl anywhere.
Okay.
You know, he's still wearing his, you know, cheesy sunglasses from last time, but he has like washed his hair. You know,
Okay, good.
combed it out. You know, probably wearing a light maroon suit.
So he just looks like a Yakuza character.
Yeah, basically. Like, he's
Okay.
gone from, like, sleazy producer to, like, looking like an extra in a Yakuza game.
Okay. So,
His tie has tiny katanas and shurikens on it for no
or-
rean.
What are the more modern ones?
but okay, so he cleaned up enough so that they probably won't just attack his character straight out.
No. And you recall from your analysis of him that, like, he gets feisty when confronted.
Mhm.
Like, he you know, shuts down or pushes back. But also he is still kind of a pushover. Like, he's not used to hard hitting.
Okay, so I need to establish myself as the scarier one who doesn't want to get pissed off. So I don't think I have anything for him in particular when Roth is up there, but I do want to silently pressure him to staying calm and mostly silent during the prosecution.
All right, so we'll put a pin in that one.
Yeah.
My thing would just be making sure Roth asks him if he let anyone know where Theo would be staying, and make sure to not let that go.
All right. Anybody else got anything they would want to make sure we put out there? Are we ready to roll with just that?
Not really.
Okay.
Nothing more than I can think of.
All right. So yeah, you know, Roth asks the usual softball questions you are expecting. You know, how long have you known Theo? Mez is like, oh yeah, since the beginning, man. Gotta start coming right to my office. You know, Roth probably asks him to like elaborate like how in depth is their relationship and stuff. Manages to, before some objections cut him off, or even the judge is just like, all right, wrap it up, kind of a thing. Like spin a couple of human interest stories about him and Theo's professional relationship together. But eventually, like you suggest, Roth kind of takes a turn at the end and into some harder hitting questions, like, how long have you known that Theo and Allegro were dating? Did you know Allegro very well, kind of a thing? Did you know about them ditching their security to go places? Did you know where Theo was that night? And Mez has to be like, yeah, I recommended them to the hotel. And asks him the pointed question, so you knew, do you know if anybody else knew? Did you tell anybody? And yeah, unless you guys want to do something about that at this stage, technically probably perjures himself, but he's just gonna, loosen his tie a little and be like, no, of course not. I didn't say anything. I have no reason to tell anybody Now, you could just slam a jam with the fact that this is not true, but you said you wanted to wait on that, so.
We can call him back up, right?
Yeah. If it becomes relevant, you can recall a witness.
I think that possibly after Calypso, is revealed that whenever we get out of her, how did she know they're there? Well, if we call him back up, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but the thing is he's going to be found in perjury of court if we let this go now.
I mean, he's already perjured himself.
Yeah, he said the thing because you guys didn't.
I'm suitably fine with him suffering some consequences for this.
All right.
Yeah, everybody else is cool. We'll just go for it. All right. So yeah, Roth lets that one kind of linger. Probably asks him a couple of minor clarifying questions. It's like, all right, no further questions. So the prosecution.
This was basically his opportunity to get out of it for me.
Okay.
Yes, unfortunately, that is not. Mezzanine's definitely not the get out ahead. He is the spin man. So
he doesn't climb out of the hole. He tries to dig himself out of the hole.
He tries to make himself an.
Or he convinces you that the hole is actually great real estate. You should be in the hole. It's great here.
He tries to pull you in and charge you for it.
I tried.
No, you did, but that's still like I said. That's just how Mezzanine's character is.
No, I understand. It was a long shot, but
yep.
So, I would like, as established by the fiction, I would like Claymore to play hardball, because you are going to give Mez the vibes that if he does not keep his cool with the prosecution, even though the prosecution is going to try and get up in his face, he will have to answer to you.
12. It's fine.
Okay. Yep.
Roll 10 on dice.
NPCs, do what you want. So yeah, this is a very interesting cross-ex with the prosecution. They, ask him some character questions, try and attack his credibility themselves. Where were you? What have you been doing? Just Claymore just kind of sits there, arms folded, radiating menacing vibes from JoJo, and you rolled pretty well, so you're not futzing with any of the clocks or anything. It's definitely a really interested observer, and if the prosecution plays back the footage, he's definitely glancing over at the defense bench a lot, but he could just be glancing at Theo. You don't know. You've done well enough on your roll to give yourself some wiggle room if it comes up, but
Cardo's
there are a couple of times
20 minutes later is gonna be like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, like I said, her two identical goon squad guys, one of them has a red tie, one of them has a blue tie. They have big bulky wraparound AR glasses on, so they are totally gonna watch that footage back later. And she's just gonna be like, son of a bitch.
And Aren's connection faltered.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, I heard him breaking that, but okay, he got kicked out. We will try not to scooch too far ahead.
But I'm assuming that because of this, the Mez does not break.
Yeah, basically, what I was going to say before was, Cardos, like I said, gets up in his grill, asks him some questions, maybe even has to, again, call for, a hostile witness. And, tries to get some rise about like, so you were planning on a shift for Theo. You didn't have any concerns if an actor known for romantic comedies could get into, this. Tries to again push the angle of like, maybe he pushed him to get the skill wires to give him the skills to do hand murder, punch fight. And
Your
like,
Honor, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I know. But like, he has a couple of spicy comments. All right, Aren is typing now. See how he's doing on that response. Hopefully, he hasn't lost his juice for the whole evening. Oh, okay, he's logging back in.
There he is.
All right. What was I saying?
Sorry about that. My internet dropped for a second.
Yes, I understand. Okay, you didn't miss much. Yeah, I was just saying that like when Cardos comes in for some of those hard hitting questions, where as you were cautioned, normally Mezzanine would kind of give like a too pithy, too spicy reply or something, and make himself look like an idiot or give too much info that the prosecution can kind of pull on. He like again makes that very pointed look over at the defense bench where Claymore is just kind of vibrating, and just kind of bites himself off, and he's like, and sometimes she's like, oh, what's that? Did you want to say something? And he's like, deep breath. Sorry, I forgot myself. It's really stressful, one of my longest standing clients is falsely under the microscope like this. It's no problem. Anyway, straighten his tie back up. So the prosecution tries to get a rise out of him, and Claymore manages to be scarier than her, and he does not. So yeah. At this point, we've run through the primary list of witnesses, and I should say this. Obviously, we're abridging, we're expurgating for the sake of.
Oh right, I'm an idiot. I could have just said Ryan Reynolds.
True. Drama and narrative and stuff. There are probably ancillary witnesses called, like actual trials are full of lots of stuff that, for legal reasons, needs to be done to clearly establish every single fucking thing. But much like courtroom dramas on TV, we skip a lot of that because it's not interesting. So, like, technically there would have been witnesses called, like, the receptionist was probably called to see, like, if she recognized checking in Theo at Allegro, but that's literally the only thing the receptionist saw, so it's not important kind of a stuff,
Mm-hmm.
His, their security guards may have been called up to testify that they were ditched, but that's not really important to your case. So, we're going through all that, and so the time comes where, according to your plans, is to put Theo up on the stand and question about what he thought about that night. Do you have any particular things you guys want to ask him? Because obviously you're assisting, so you can have your own input.
Why are we putting Theo on the stand again?
To give his perspective on the thing. I believe the plan is to make him explicitly say, like, he really doesn't remember. He was blacked out, et cetera, et cetera.
Basically, talk to him about the chip thing.
And now that you've introduced the chip, you can be like, hey, do you recognize this chip? And then you can be like, Your Honor, we would like to cross-reference that time. Hand-holding a little, but it's fine. We're trying to catch up on the plan.
And also,
as
to
I understand it, you can like cross-reference the thing you already brought up and said, so this is your skill chip that you would have had that night.
Yeah.
And earlier you got the expert witness to say that this did have malware on it that could cause him to black out.
Okay.
And then basically, I also want to kind of further the smoke screen.
Okay.
Like make it look like, well, obviously we're doing this, but basically focus on bigging up his character.
Okay.
And making like it seem like the only argument we're going to have is like it was impossible that he committed this murder.
Well, my more concern is how are we gonna, deflect the prosecution from just laying into our boy?
See, here's the thing. I don't think he can say anything that's incriminating. Like, it might suck for him, and I'm sorry about that, but I don't think he can say anything that will hurt his case. I think he might break down on the witness stand, but
you guys could try and assess Theo if you want to, like, lock in any potential stuff with those questions there, like get a read on him. Your general vibes from the several days you have spent, honestly, probably close to a week at this stage, because you guys were like 2 or 3 days on camera in the legwork phase, and then it was probably another, 2 or 3 days to the
and for the most part, I have been literally with him for most of it.
Yeah. you guys explicitly said, like, and specifically, especially Claymore and Metatron, were like, build him back up, let him go outside, let him readjust. So, like, he is in a pretty good place mentally. The prosecution probably can't pull anything on him in this state of their case to, like, actually get him to crack.
Mhm.
Probably the main thing is... Save that for... I don't want to give you too much. I think I'm being a little too handholdy at points. So if you want to read him before the prosecution gets in. But I do want, based on how you've said you want your case, I would like Metatron to once again roll me fast talk to, again, because you're obfuscating to kind of, bluster your way
But hey, you're
through
defending
Theo's
Theo, so
testimony.
hey.
It's like, well, yeah, I'm being honest. The fast talk makes sense because I'm being honest, but I'm trying to make it look like this is all we've got.
Yeah. Promises, lies, or bluster. So this is definitely bluster. Like, you're not lying, but you are covering, obfuscating, throwing an extra
I
spice
don't
there.
get my +1, so that's only +2. Because I'm currently Hugh Norman.
Well, how much
You
knowledge?
That
should
is a
get a
10.
+1 ongoing, though, from... well, you got a 10 anyway, but you should get a +1 ongoing from Odin's giving you missions.
Okay, then I have an 11.
All right, NPCs, do what you want. All right, you're going good. Everything is flowing. You managed to throw up enough of a smoke screen so that when we pivot to the prosecution, she doesn't really, Cardos doesn't really seem to have anything extra about your angle there. And, Cardos probably starts to lean a little more direct, a little more hard-hitting. What's up?
Actually, I would want to throw in one thing.
Okay.
I forgot about this.
Go for it.
Yes. I wanted to basically say, do you know, and I will have prepped him to say a response to this, basically, of there are some fans who would object, but do you know anyone who objected to the relationship you and Allegro had?
Okay.
And I basically would have prepped him to say fan. Like, there are some fans. Not name anyone specific, but...
And you are correct. You would have witness prepped him. So he knows he is coached to go through the bits and be like, yes, there were,
There were some fans that had a problem with it.
Some fans disagreed. On both sides, he kind of spreads it around. Maybe it wasn't just his fans kind of a thing.
And that'll be as far as I go with that.
Yeah.
But I just want to put that thought in the courtroom.
That's a good one. Yes, that fits your strategy. You guys are doing your moves.
Show me your moves.
God, if you only had Captain Falcon in the courtroom, you just declare the Falcon punch and punch the prosecution and win. You explode the galaxy. Anyway, so like I said, Cardos probably takes this opportunity to lean in a little and get some once again some very spicy, direct questions. Ask him for specific details about his relationship. I think at this point you guys have been doing well on this. That she doesn't have a lot to go to like trip him up, but like she definitely makes sure to run through the paces and get him on record as like himself saying a lot of stuff when they met, what kind of, how long have they been going out, again, probably ask some questions that maybe some objections get thrown out for like, conjecture, relevance, etc. At one point, straight up asks him, well, did you kill her? And he is like, no, of course not. It's like, all right, testing you. What does he remember, etc. Again, Roth would have brought up the fact that he, has no memory. He did black out and introduced the possibility that he may have been malware roofied, for lack of a better term. So she asks him, very pressing questions. Where did you get this chip? When did you get this chip? And he's like, oh, it should be my normal chip. Do you realize it was swapped with malware? And he's like, no. Okay, I don't know, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, she doesn't, again, like I said, I think you put Theo in a good enough place that she doesn't really get much of a rise out of him. Obviously, he's probably very uncomfortable, probably hurt by some of these questions, but in terms of the jury, I don't think you guys have done any missteps here that this Theo being called up actually sways their opinion, really? Definitely not visibly. And you never know with the way jurors are like picked and balanced out. Some of them might, swing back a little. The main thing is a jury has to like come to a unanimous decision,
Mm.
which does unfortunately mean that at some points it turns into like bullying everybody to consider all the angles until it works out. And you want to make sure you never get the 12 Angry Men problem where the jury is going your way and there's one guy who's and flips it all around.
Yeah.
Strictly speaking, you guys,
There's
if it
that
goes the other
one
way.
guy who's a PC, one player
Yeah.
character in the jury, and
Kind of why I really
flips
wanted
everyone.
to be, if I could have gotten one of us in the jury, but that wouldn't now have worked.
Yeah, I think we talked about
Unfortunately,
that was a little too
juror
much
selection
complex.
is way
It's
early.
like bumps in advance, so it doesn't work.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
Yeah,
very
that's the
long.
problem.
Like the moment they laid out those charges, they would have started the trial prep.
For this sort of case, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and for this
for
kind
a
of
murder case.
campaign, it's
Yeah.
like
it
I
would,
would have loved
small
to role play
claims,
some
civil
voir dire
court, maybe.
bullshit and like actually like track the juror quality, but for a game like the Sprawl, that's a little too granular.
It's
Yeah.
too long term. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
a little,
was-
it's much easier to just cut straight to the chase.
I'm going to be honest. One of the things I'd considered was assassinating a member of the jury and trying
Yeah,
to
but
get
they
us
already have a
replaced
lineup,
into
and you
it,
couldn't get
but
their name on the list.
Yeah, but you could. The
you
reserve
can
jurors
assassinate
are,
enough people.
also the reserve jurors are usually a little looser handled than the primary jurors.
Yeah.
So you could probably have worked on like flipping.
But that
them or
just seemed
declaring
like
contacts
too
and shit.
much. Like,
Yeah. You guys have honestly played this one for the most part pretty straight. Not a lot of blood and guts. We'll see if it stays that way. But like overall, your plan is going very well. The job is doing things. You're all waiting for the turn.
I'm going to be honest. I like it better when our plans don't go well.
No,
'Cause
I
then
think
I
your
know
plan is
what's
pretty
gonna
good.
go
You're good at
wrong.
this.
Right, you.
Positive reinforcement. Everything's going great. But that does mean it's time for the money shot. You are specifically going to call Calypso Wattsmith to the stand, and
Well,
you guys are going to go first.
I mean, it would be Calypso and then evidence, right?
Well,
Evidence
yeah,
is
you will
presented at the
you will
end, right?
present the evidence you have probably during her questioning,
Yeah.
because you would turn to the jury and be like, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we would like to submit this for your viewing, etc."
Can I spend a? What would this be? Would this be a gear? I feel like this would be a gear.
Physical evidence is probably gear.
Yeah. So to have submitted ahead of time, or this might not even be gear, but depend on what you want
to
be.
whip out and land on. We'll figure it out.
A signed testimonial by the employer, Stone and Sons Corporation, of basically her transcripts and everything related to them, and testimonials that these are in fact genuine transcripts.
Yeah, I think that is produce equipment. You're producing the thing you need at the right time, and describe how your professionalism and forethought taught you to bring this. Well, I don't actually think I need you to do that because you have throughout this scenario you have been describing how your professionalism and forethought.
Look, I'm very good at being Weasley, just in a more elegant way than Mr. Grant Access.
But yeah,
I am the Pinot Noir to his Manischewitz.
You, Metatron, specifically said that you had some specific ways you wanted to phrase a question and get in Wattsmith's face about too. So you are up first.
So the way I want to start this is I basically want to question her, and this could go volatile, but this is my strategy, and I'll run it by the group first. I want to question her about the relationship between Allegro and oh my god, my brain just broke. Theo. And make it sound as glowing and mushy as possible.
Okay, yeah. So you just want to fucking
trying to get her visibly angry, yeah.
And then I want to ask her if she's ever stayed at the hotel. And then when she says no, I will call the bellhop back.
Okay.
Or Roth can do this, because I don't know if I'm qualified to do this.
Oh, I feel like I like you doing it yourself. You're part of the crew. He basically says,
But
yes,
yeah.
my assistant has prepared some questions.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So describing Calypso Wattsmith, she probably looks like a lot of corpo hackers and programmers, probably like not quite a suit, I'm guessing probably like, dark turtleneck, long pleated skirt, probably got a couple of, not obvious implants, but like you'll see lines for like having some cyber comms or cyber ears installed, there's a slight, too blue or too gray look in her irises. Those are obviously, prosthetics. Probably dark circles under her eyes. Looks like she drinks, 4 cans of energy drink per day, minimum. If not a
Only
full 6-pack.
4. Those are rookie numbers.
Probably, expresses some confusion for how we're here and stuff. And yeah, I think the best way to handle your provocation, I know I'm asking you to roll this a lot, but you're the social guy, so I would like you to once again fast talk to just try and
Look, yeah, I'm doing this in a specific way so I never have to roll hardball. I'll be very honest.
Yeah, you're not threatening.
Because those are very different. Because hardball is cool, right?
No. Play hardball is edge.
Okay, I wouldn't be awful at it, but still not as good as style.
No, act under pressure is not appropriate. I was wondering if that would be, but no, that would be race against the clock, act in danger, or to avoid danger. That's not quite what you're doing. Honestly, you are trying to provoke her to be emotional. You are entering the danger zone.
Yes. Son of a bitch.
How we doing?
Well, I failed. Well, did I fail? Yeah, I failed.
Okay.
What's the total?
6.
On the money. That does mean you lose your ongoing bonus from Odin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Roll snake eyes?
But no, I did not roll snake eyes. I rolled a 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
Makes sense. Okay. No, I know exactly how this is going to play out. It's time for the turn.
Oh, Jesus.
So, yeah, you go for all this thing, and you're just like, oh, what was your opinion? And it's at some point, you probably have to pitch that she was on a list of fans who were considered problematic. Like, because the prosecution is going to be like, okay, why the fuck are you asking her these questions? He's like, I have a reason. And you go through all of this, and like you get to your big climax. You're trying to push the point of like getting her to emotionally break. And you ask, how are you going to the hospital today? I think just the moment is, she starts getting more agitated, kind of twitchy, rolling her legs, etc., pulling at kind of her neck of her sweater and stuff. And just at one point, you find the most saccharine way to phrase this question about it. And she's just like,
I lay it on too thick.
Full break, slight foaming at her mouth, just crazy talk. Like, how dare you insinuate they were perfect? They were terrible. They were all wrong. How dare you, you son of a bitch. I'll kill you. And she draws a flechette pistol from under her skirt and is going to plug you.
How do I
stop?
resist plugging?
So, let me see.
Because I'll be honest, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
I
so
thought
the flechette pistol
come
does
at me
have
with
the
her-
quick tag, which is it's supposed to resolve before other non-quick weapons. But Claymore, do you?
I can take one bullet.
Do you have synth reflexes?
I do.
Nope.
Okay.
I would
if
like
you wanted
Roll
to
stunt
try and
as well.
interpose,
Yes, I will bodyguard.
okay, I would like you to. Oh, actually, what is the best way to do this? Technically, Dallas said he would like to not get plugged first. I think the
Okay.
best way to handle this is Metatron rolls Act Under Fire plus Cool to try and get out of danger. And because of his quick reflexes,
No.
no, not that part. I mean, Claymore, because of your
Oh.
quick reflexes, you can roll help to assist him and add your +1 from your synthetic nerves.
Oh, okay.
because you are
Well-
trying to pull him out of the way. I think that's the best way, because if
Okay,
you
yeah.
get a partial hit on the help move, you are
Which
subject to
makes
consequences.
sense, because then I technically failed, but if Claymore does assist me, I will succeed with
Okay.
wiggle room.
All right, so I'm rolling. Okay.
Yeah, roll plus your links with.
You roll my bond, so plus
yeah,
3.
roll your links with Metatron, but add your +1 bonus from your nerves, because it's important that you can move fast.
Yep. I rolled a 10.
Okay, so
Cool.
you do in fact get +1 from that
Yeah.
Metatron.
So then I squeak by with an 8.
Okay.
Or no, you said it was +2, right? Because he hasn't. Oh no, he gets
No,
a
it's
+1
+1 for
towards
him,
it.
so it's
Okay, then I barely squeak by with a
7?
+7.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
you stumble,
that.
hesitate, or flinch, offer a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. Okay. I mean, this is the obvious one. I'll give you the choice. You can allow Claymore to pull you out of the way, but that will mean that you are no longer a backstop for this flechette pistol. And honestly, I think the more risky thing is, and making it more of a question, because if I say it's Theo, you're just going to get shot, and that's not really a choice. So I'm going to say
Yeah.
Roth is in the lineup. So your lawyer is going to get plugged with a flechette if you choose to be pulled out of the way.
This is why you gotta trust your bodyguard.
Well, your bodyguard is pulling you out of the way, so
Yeah, I know, but my intent was to get in to interpose myself between them, so no one behind it
True.
got shot.
but it is as I said, Dallas did say he wanted to not get shot first.
Yeah, sorry. I did I did ask how do I resist getting shot, but
Yeah, but it's kind of the
no, I understand.
it is this is a system that is not necessarily good at like stacking multiple actions at once.
I need to check something first. You know what? I'll take the bullet.
Okay. So, what is your armor value?
My armor value is 1.
Okay. So
Because I have my suit is armored.
Yes, armored. Okay. So, fun fact: the flechette tag on the flechette pistol, even though that's probably not how flechette should work,
Nope.
give you +1 armor.
AP, yeah.
So your armor is actually 2. So this is 3 harm. So you only suffer 1, and please roll plus harm suffered. This is the part
Okay,
where
so
Dallas
roll-
gets blown down the room somehow and breaks all his bones.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes!
Snake
He's done it
eyes.
again, everybody.
No, not Snake Eyes. Boxcars.
Of course.
I fucking hate this system.
No, you just
Always
your
on the
dice
harm
hate you.
rolls, baby.
Your dice
Okay,
hate you.
so that's
So,
10
you get
plus.
shot in the
Choose
face.
one. You're out of action, unconscious, trapped, incoherent, or panicked. You take the full harm before it was reduced, so you would take, instead of taking 1, you take 3, which is probably pretty bad. You lose use of a piece of cyberware until you get it, or you lose a body part, like an eye.
Technically, because it's cinematic, I'll pick 2.
Okay, take the full harm.
No, lose a piece of cyberware and lose a body part as my cyber eye gets shot.
Okay, so no, it's sorry, that was reciprocal.
It's the-
at once.
it's
So you
the
want to lose the
cyberware,
access of a
but-
piece of cyberware until you get it repaired.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's functionally my eye gets shot.
Yes,
It's just my
Okay.
cyber eye instead of my human eye.
dart right in your eye, sparks fly.
I'm kind of sad there isn't a move to be like you take harm
And then I
you roll the harm
fall
roll for
down.
someone, you take the harm roll for someone else or
I'm
something.
actually kind of surprised about that, but anyway, all right, so
Well, if that's the case, I guess
As I just go, oh, fucking course.
Well,
As
I
I
need,
fall.
I need to remove that weapon from that miss.
and I also Wolf also has reflexes and is right there, and his disguise is a
Yeah.
bailiff. So
Wolf would definitely be assisting in disarming and restraining the woman.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Nope.
Uh,
as we said, Claymore kind of feels like he's taking initiative. So roll to mix it up. You were trying to use violence to seize control of her gun, and Wolf can roll help.
that is a 8. Is that enough to help?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a partial hit, so you add a +1 to this.
All right. Well, with Wolf's assistance, that makes it an 11.
Okay. You achieve your objective. All right. Yeah, so Metatron flops on the floor. You're just in motion, Claymore. You almost pull Metatron completely out of the way, but he kind of like hesitates for a second and just ping, psst, drops to the floor, covers his face.
Mhm.
And then you're just there. You just wrap your big cyber hands. Do you have the strength hog or just the weapons?
Let me double check.
Because I know you have cyber arms, but is it just the implant weapons, or do you have the other fun things?
Yes, I have augmented strength.
Okay, yeah. So, if you don't mind that this happens, I'm just kind of picturing you just clamp your hands around the flechette pistol and just squeeze.
Yes.
Obviously, because
then
she
we'll
snuck
come
it
up.
into security, it is mostly polymers and plastics. Very little metal is actually in it. Just enough for the little coil gun coils.
Just in the maybe in the bullets too, I guess.
Yeah, and obviously yes, because they're ferrous. They're steel cord, diamond coated. And you just kind of, if you get a finger in there too, well, no, whatever.
She shot at the part of the defense.
And then just the bailiff is there, and is just like, wrestler out of the booth, ground, handcuffs, I assume,
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot of and just fierce banging. Order in the courtroom. Bailiff, you got her.
All right. Well,
Yes,
once Wolf has her, I will go check on Metatron.
His cyber eye is disabled, and he still took one harm. So
I'm mostly okay because once again, it is just one harm. But it's just my eye is shot.
Yeah.
Like shot in both senses.
yes, he's disabled until we get the flechette.
I mostly just have my hand over my face because I don't want them to see that I'm wearing a polymer mask.
It just kind of hit me, but this is like the reverse version of like the court scene in like The Dark Knight.
Well, yeah. Because I'm not an action hero. I'm a weedy social talker. So when someone pulls a gun on me, I kind of just stare at them and go,
I'm gonna say you're from now on, your first. If I am standing next to you, your reaction should not be to dodge. Your reaction to be get behind Claymore.
That is fair.
All right, but yeah. So the judge asks
Ow.
if Wolf as a disguised bailiff has her in hand. Wolf was like, yeah.
Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
okay. A bailiff, take this woman away. Hold on. Looks down. Yes, you young man, are you all right?
Yes, Your Honor. Permission for a slight recess, so I may.
Yeah,
Ow.
yes, of course. We're gonna call a recess. Seal the courtroom, in fact. And give me BCPD down here. Simply
I'm
shameless. Weapons smuggled into my courtroom. Nonsense.
As I just ignore at all costs, do not look at the flechette pistol in my pocket.
Or
which is how I know I can take the damage because I have the exact same pistol on
instead
me.
weapons smuggled in.
Or my custom weapon that's smuggled in.
Yeah.
I'm not staying in the courtroom for a reason.
I don't know if my arm is considered a smuggled weapon because it is registered.
No, I think it's just illegal or just dangerous.
Well, it is dangerous. It is harmful to him. But yeah, so
Yeah.
basically, everything gets kind of pulled out. The audience is shuffled out. The jury was probably shuffled out the moment shooting started.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna check over Theo to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, he's.
Oh wait, no,
he's
I
concerned
shouldn't
about you,
do
buddy.
that.
You've got to.
I asked Claymore to check Theo over. I'm like, it's okay. It hit the fake one.
Yeah. You guys are probably rushed to a little
I
medical
have some gear and
station.
hold kind of what I do now because I felt if it was dangerous, I was like, oh fuck, I'll get to trauma derms and get in it.
That is the second time I've been shot in that
I
eye.
think Claymore has an EMT kit.
I do.
Yeah.
I could probably use a gear just to have. I have a prosthetic eye.
I mean,
We
don't bother. Claymore has a first aid kit. I have trauma derms on me. We're good.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm
I just more need to get out of the courtroom so I can fix this mask more than
Yeah,
anything.
Basically, you guys get shuffled off to a little, probably not nurse's station, but a little conference room and stuff. I presume you wave off an EMT call.
Yeah, I'll take care of this.
Okay.
No.
Oh, you do want medics?
I actually have no, but the bailiff in question will come over because he has He is actually, and if you'll allow this to Fluff, in Fluff, he is my official person in charge of making re-outfitting cyberware.
What?
Yeah, it was your tech guy.
Yeah, he's my tech guy. For my crew stuff, he is the
Oh.
guy in charge of the prosthetic cyber stuff. The girl is the hacker.
So I will probably say
No, she's not in here.
No.
She would not. She is not. No.
I will say so. You can basically use your recess time to have him fix your cyber eye, but that means that you will have to sit there while he fixes your eye in your face. So, and Claymore can work on your harm stuff if he wants to. What are the rest of you guys going to be doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to probably make sure where Calypso's taken is a bit tracked, just in case if something else happens.
I mean,
Well,
I was
Wolf
gonna
is
be
taking
doing
her
that
there,
too,
so.
yeah.
There are probably it's a courthouse. There's holding cells. So
Just one mission. I'd like to not get shot.
Jinxed yourself.
I really did.
I mean, the car chase one, you didn't get shot, you just got shockwaved.
I mean, the car got shot.
Yeah, fair.
I got shot by proxy.
True, the thing that caused the trauma was the crypt full of the cryogenically frozen girl, but it was caused by a grenade. Anyway, yeah, okay. So,
I'm definitely more annoyed than I am in actual pain.
I mean, it is only one harm. That is relatively minor. You'll get over that on your own.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I feel like
don't
it's
think,
just
I
like
don't think you need me.
All right.
I feel like it's honestly more like electrical burns than anything.
Yeah, you got a lot of
Just
sparks in your
burns
face. You
around the
have to
eye
reset your
area.
mask.
In which my nerves are already dead because it exploded. So
You know, you got some shards from the flechette that kind of broke off.
this should
covered
hurt
your face
more
a
than
little.
it does.
Okay. All right.
My nerves are dead.
So, Wolf, you take Calypso down to the holding cells. She is, very unceremoniously put in a cell. They probably call a medic for her because, as I said, a couple of her fingers are probably dislocated or broken or something. She's probably alternating between, angry yelling that guy didn't know what he was talking about. It's all wrong, and like sobbing about how, Thea's so dreamy, he is the perfect man for her. Why can't some dreamy heartthrob come along and whisk her away from her hellish cube job? Et cetera, et cetera. Because if you recall, Thea's main thing was rom-coms, which with a cheesy corporate setting.
Yep.
So anything you, Wolf, want to do while you're there with her?
Not with her directly. I'm just going to kind of relay through comms kind of like her emotional state. So,
All right. Okay.
Well, we still need her to be up there.
I mean, this is I don't know if we can have her up there, but we can still provide the evidence against her. We have all of it. Thankfully, we have it documented.
I don't know if you. Obviously, there's courtroom drama. It would sure be super dramatic to like throw her in the cuffs with her bandaged up hands and put her back on the stand. That feels a little unrealistic to me.
No,
I will. I want to remind you, we are in the cyberpunk fucking future.
It is true.
There is nothing to say that she can't be forcibly video commed in via her cell.
Oh yeah, actually, that's probably better. Yeah, somebody
Okay.
can basically run a camera to broadcast to the room. Okay, that's probably would make more sense. Yeah.
I'm about to say it's like after this juicy tidbit, nah, they this is the shit that everyone eats up.
Oh no, like this is they cut
Ratings
to
are
commercial,
great.
but only after all the violence stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also
And
in this situation, yeah, they get her restrained and they can just video call it.
God, my mom is gonna kill me.
Is she? I mean,
She did just get. I mean, they don't know it's me, but she does, and she did just see me get shot on live TV.
actually, yeah, I just realized. Calypso doesn't realize it, but I think she just promised that she's gonna get shivved in prison.
Oh no, she is dead as soon as she goes to
Oh, she just shot her
prison.
boss. She just shot her boss, technically.
No, she is going to have what we call a prison accident.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
With
She's a dead
how
woman.
much we've established how Celestine Stone operates, yeah, I'm just like, oh yeah, no, she's gonna get a shiv in prison, like,
She's very dead.
or something. Like that at best she's going to get shivved. At worst she's going to like accidentally fall into the, prison incinerator or something.
I was more thinking. Turns out someone secretly.
Ask too much detail. You're gonna come up with something way more convoluted than it needs to be.
Okay.
I was
But,
just replace their arm with.
You're going on anyway.
But also, by the way, I will say, speaking of the Talons, if there had not been a dramatic outburst and when you guys had done the poll, and I don't think it fits now though, but I did specifically point out QR is still in the room. There is definitely going to be a QR, calls her a bitch and like tries to jump the stand and claw her face off with her cyber claws. Because you need the drama. But yeah, so Odin, you are making your way down to not into the holding cells because you don't have authorization, but near, just to make sure that like somebody's on the ball, because you said you want to keep track of her.
Yeah.
And Claymore, since you are not medicing Metatron, is there anything in particular you would like to be doing during your recess break?
Let me see here. We're probably kept separate from everyone else, so I can't go see how the prosecution's doing right now, can I?
I mean, you could probably try and meander about, but
I will
you're not
meander.
probably
I will
supposed to
meander
come.
about, see if I can wander over to where the prosecution's hanging out, seeing what their deal is right now, how they feeling.
Yeah.
Omega, while I am being worked on, I will just shoot a text message or a comms message to Theo and Roth to assure them I'm not.
Oh no,
I'm
you don't
not
need to calm them.
seriously
Like
hurt.
they would probably be with you.
Okay.
Like in the little aside room, like I said, minding their own business. You're fine. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Theo probably asks a couple of like very confused and bewildered questions about like, who was that? What was that? What is happening? And Roth is just kind of be like, calm down. It's all part of the plan. We're introducing reasonable doubt. Don't you worry. Oh, but she's like a violent maniac. Well, that's case.
Well, that works in our favor.
Yeah, basically.
Honestly, this is great for our case.
Not great for your face, but
No.
but yeah. So not Odin. Claymore, you take Odin is taking a meander somewhere else. Odin, you not Odin. I'm doing it again. Damn it. I'm really bad with your names today. I don't know why. At least I can remember the character names, and I'm not just completely poleaxed on that. Claymore, you are going to. Would you say eavesdrop on the prosecution, or just kind of like, stroll by for a vibe check kind of a thing? Like, are you trying to be stealthy about this, or making a social call?
I'm making a social call. I do not stealth unless I absolutely have to.
Fair enough. Okay, so as they're approaching, you kind of, like I said, she's got Tweedledee and Tweedledum with her. They're just kind of like, reviewing the footage, and they're just like, yeah. Or completely unexpected. Yeah, well, you overhear very briefly Cardo saying something like, well, I'm not entirely convinced it's not a stunt. We'll determine that later because they're going to put her back on the stand. And then it's just like, yes, Mr. I didn't catch your name.
Wasn't it Clay Space Moore?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but that's just the name I put on documents.
Yeah.
But no, he'll just be like, Claymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mr. Moore, quick reflexes in there. Those are, I admit that cyber arms are not normal for legal assistance. Possibly for some private investigators, I know. But what brings you down to our corner of the courthouse? Surely you should be with the rest of your team in these trying times.
Claymore just, merely, just shrugs and is just like, just taking a walk, really. Came to check up on you guys and see you weren't too rattled by the situation.
Oh, it'll take more than that to rattle my cage.
I feel like there's just something about rattling your... Out of character. I feel like there's a joke I can make about her rattling her sword.
Yes. And you could probably say, yeah, I don't, you could.
Yeah,
pitch that
yeah.
I'm sure
It's all
you'd
like,
prefer
may
to
not
rattle
rattle your
sword
cage,
instead.
but you sure are rattling your sword a bit.
Of course, that's what it's for. But of course, it takes a special quality, a certain metal, to prosecute criminals in this city. Too many people assume that, there's too much crime. Everything goes along, get along. The state doesn't really care about small actors, but so many people think that, everyone gets away with it. That's why you need to buy big, shiny cyber arms and fancy guns to protect yourself. But at Karasu Consulting, we are paid to ensure that our cases are prosecuted to the full extent of our abilities.
One moment, please, as I try to get a thought.
He's contextualizing a thought. That's fine. She does the thing I mentioned earlier, where she, takes that one strand of hair that's out of place and just tucks it back in. Pitch perfect, unrattled.
Unrattled. It's like, 'cause I feel slightly dissed about my cyber arms right now. I'm trying to figure out, how do I respond to that? How do I riposte? Is it riposte or repose?
It's
Riposte.
It is riposte, okay. I'm never sure when, like, certain consonants are supposed to be silent.
Or possibly.
Or technically, it's riposte. Technically,
It's
but
riposte?
that's
Really?
French.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's French, so I don't care.
Oh.
I am also, I'm pretty sure in American English, quite a few people pronounce it riposte anyway.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Riposte. Sorry, I am
Riposte.
slightly bamboozled by this.
Oh, riposte.
Oh, now
Mango.
when you put it in that accent, it makes sounds better.
Yeah, that's the accent. Yeah, it's a French word.
it's
Very
French.
counter post.
But okay, let's see here. So they do not seem to. They have not pieced it together yet. It seems.
Yeah. She doesn't seem to follow exactly why that was. I mean, like, if you just want to stand there and be silent for a little bit, she might just, continue on and be like, that was a very interesting reaction from your witness.
Yeah. But yes, the judicial assistant has a bad habit of he rubs his chin a little bit. How to beat this? Well, actually, no. Wait, why am I trying to be delicate about the guy? No, he just says shit that just sets people off. I don't know how he does it.
Well, that is a style.
You aren't wrong.
It's like,
Of
well,
course.
no, please go.
Go ahead.
No, you keep on.
All right, okay. She would say, of course, he's not really a judicial assistant, is he? And just like, your business venture, I'm sure, is more than just large suit man. I'm sure you have, how does the phrase go? Specific skills.
Oh, Claymore
That was a
is like,
Megatron
oh,
from
I've
the,
never formally introduced myself. And he will pull out a business card. Hell yeah.
Okay. Claymore brand business card.
Yeah, Claymore brand business card. Security services, consultants, conservancies, and consultancy.
Ah,
Does it say on the
oh,
back they should expect people to? I forgot what I said it was originally, but it was like they really should expect.
Listen.
People to,
I'm trying to remember. You did have a decent line, but I don't remember it now. It was something about. It wasn't like expect us. It was cleverer than that. We can try and remember.
I'll find it very quickly.
We've got the archival footage. What were you saying, Lucky?
Oh, but it's just, yes, and I'll just present it. It's like, I have a certain skill set dealing with security manners, and not some security manners.
Huh, I notice.
Found it.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
think
way
that's
better.
chuckle number 2 out of Lucky. I think you got him both
believe
times.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
Yes. Nobody expects me. They really should. And that sounds like something that would be on a business card.
Yes.
Yeah. So she, tucks that into her suit jacket and says, in your professional security opinion, she kind of, rests her hands idly at about waist height. You wouldn't happen to conduct any counterintelligence, know anything about digital break-ins at Karasu consulting offices? The other day, I was quite interested to find that the ice system on my personal workstation was mysteriously deleted. Very unusual.
Claymore,
Melted, I believe the hackers say.
I didn't go. Did I go on that job?
No,
Nope.
you did not
You did
directly.
not.
I think you were in the parking lot. You Odin, and Squirrel played cards.
Did
Yeah,
did
'cause,
Metatron actually talk about if like shit went bad?
I feel like you explicitly did not talk about the fact that you had to delete some ice and trip some alarms.
I
Yeah.
said
That,
I
that
said
was all.
Yes.
yeah, no, I told Ryan. Is it Ryan?
Wolf.
No, Wolf. Sorry,
Yeah,
I just mixed up
Characters.
games. I just mixed
Yeah.
up games. But no, I said that we needed to leave.
Yeah.
I don't think I explicitly
But it's
said.
Okay.
not like there were any out of Matrix alarms. There were no security guards or anything, so it seemed like it went okay.
Okay. So, Claymore will, have a genuinely confused look on his face and's like, "No, this is the first time I'm hearing of such a thing."
Much eye narrow, look down nose, stare, shuffle, stare, eyebrow. She seems to take you at your word. All right. Well, that's not
Especially because his word
that's
is
not really
genuine.
Rob's
Well-
style anyway.
and
But-
Metatron is about to get chewed out.
Yes, he is.
As usual, we're just hitting all the tropes.
But that's
Today
all-
was not Metatron's day.
When
But-
is the action phase?
I will
Metatron
say this.
day?
I will say this, you Dallas. Surprisingly, you make a really good patsy. You throw like how high on the food chain you are.
Look,
I think it's because he's so talented and important. It just naturally fits his comeuppance.
Mhm. But
Anyway, yes.
Claymore will look at the time and be like, "Oh, we'll probably be filling up here, and I need to go have a talk with the judicial assistant here. But please keep my card if you ever need someone of my expertise, please." And he'll do a two-finger jaunty salute and just slide on out.
Yeah, Carter's definitely watches you leave and is like, "This is quite possibly the strangest case I've ever been a part of."
What part of Claymore is she watching?
My butt.
yeah, I would be honest. I
I
couldn't
thought
tell if
about
that
doing
was,
the joke
I-
where she
look,
says the line, "I hate to see you go, but I love watching you leave." But no, that's not. Cardos might think
Halfway-
that to herself. She does not say that out loud.
Halfway through that, I'm like,
Specialism.
is this threatening or flirting? I genuinely can't tell.
Oh no, I'm totally flirting. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no.
I meant
with
more on
Cardos,
her
it would
part.
not be the question of is this it's speaking or flirting. It's like, okay, so is this go out for some drinks kind of a thing, or is somebody trying to sell me something? Like, am I being networked right now, or what?
No, we're being networked right now. I'm hoping we have a fight and go out for drinks for later. That's my honest wish right now.
Okay.
But,
Yes, you trundle on back to the.
well, it's not a trundle. It's going to be a power walk back as just throw open the door. Where's Metatron?
Oh boy.
Probably sitting on a conference table, with his eye half out of his face, just.
I will wait. I am going to loom over you until the eye is until you are ready.
All right. Out of curiosity, what did you find out?
Theo,
I am
let's
going
just call
to-
him for a moment.
Let's just.
I am going to. Is the eye in?
Yeah, that was the.
I am going
pop
to
noise I
eagle.
made.
I am going to eagle claw Metatron, lift him up, and we are going to adjourn into a private room.
Oh boy.
All right, you go to the supply closet.
While you're pulling Metatron, he's like, I already apologized about the gift basket. I don't think he found out about the traffic accident.
What?
Is this?
No. All right.
So supply closet.
This is a fucking list of things he's
Just
fucked up.
and just all like, and you just cop it on. So
I think there's some damage.
I just had a nice talk up with Karasa Consultancy. And they told me that there was an intrusion on their thing in which, you know, the prosecutor of the fucking case had their entire personal records deleted. And you didn't think this was something you want maybe to mention so we could defense about it?
Okay, genuinely, I didn't know that I deleted it.
Did you
copied
delete
it?
You copied everything.
I thought I copied it.
No, yeah. He deleted her ice because he melted.
Oh, delete the
Yeah, no,
ice.
I
just deleted
which
ice.
is, yeah, no.
Still like a
What
major
was I
tell of
saying,
like,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
something happened here. Somebody.
Yeah.
Oh
melted
no,
ice.
I definitely did that. I just genuinely, if you said deleted her emails, I'm like, I don't know that I did that.
No, you just copied
Okay,
them.
okay.
But yeah,
I
no,
don't
if you
remember
say deleted her ice, I will look
I
sheepish.
think you deleted the access logs that you copied it, but like I said, the ice
Yeah,
was something you
no.
couldn't fuck around with.
But I definitely didn't delete her personal correspondence. I know that.
I think the whole deletion thing was when Wolf was in the Mez's.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that was
that's
Mez's.
deletion.
Mez,
Okay.
Mez's emails are deleted.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, but
Yeah.
I was like, one other thing. They've been tipped off and they're sniffing around. And you didn't think it'd be wise to share this with the rest of the group that, you know, are implicated in your actions?
I
And-
think it. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot that they. I didn't know that they still knew I was there. I thought I deleted all the ice.
Claymore's
Oh, they
going to
knew
rub
someone deleted all the ice, didn't they?
Yes. Like,
That
Claymore
makes
just, like,
sense.
rubs his browns. It's all like, the lack of something is sometimes proof of something.
Look, high intelligence, low wisdom.
No. Low intelligence, low wisdom.
No, I'm very good at technical aspects.
If you were good at technical aspects, we wouldn't have this problem in the first place, now would we?
I mean, that was more on my stealth, but fair. Harsh, but fair.
Like, a competent one would have got in and out without activating the ice, needing to delete it.
Look, sometimes sometimes the gods don't like me.
Well, don't rely on the gods then.
True.
It's like,
We must
It-
become better than gods.
Sorry.
it's like, it's like, they're gonna be like, if you fuck up or do something weird, like, let us know ahead of time so we can like plan and case it. Because what if they had, like, I don't know how legal shit works. This is not my wheelhouse. But what if they basically come at us with the fact that they feel like some of this stuff has been like some of their stuff has been, you know, tampered with, and they need to like hold off on stuff while they like figure out if everything's been wrong and throw all our timetables off.
I mean, I don't think I tampered with anything. All I did was
You
photo-
deleted
make
all their
photocopies.
eyes. That's tampering, and that means they have no idea
That's true.
whether their shit has been messed with or not.
You're right. I should have said something. I just got so distracted by setting up everything for the case that it just slipped my mind. I know that's not an excuse. I know.
I believe
I'm
we
just-
call this in the biz the forest for the trees.
Yeah. It's like, again, I don't know why you're out here doing all this stuff, but you got to keep people you're working with in the know.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're usually right,
Usually.
and you're right.
All
You're
right.
right,
I just-
you're right.
It was just mostly. I was surprised they found me.
Well, always expect them to find you. This is why I refuse to hide.
That is very fair.
Anyway,
You're
I
very
will-
good at not hiding.
I'm very good at not hiding. But Claymore will open up the door and let Metatron out.
Okay. His tech guy probably makes sure that all of his cyberware is still in the proper sockets.
Yeah, I mean, Claymore's never seriously hurt, right? He
No.
has done what I think we call in the anime business comedy damage.
Yes.
You do probably not a new jacket, but do need a new shirt
Yes.
because you were clawed. You were lifted by your claw collar.
Yes. I will probably arrange that as well as an eye patch.
No, pretty easy. Get
'Cause,
a medical eye patch. Throw it on there. Get a new waistcoat.
Mostly to cover the hole where the mask is.
And
As opposed to any actual
if
cover.
Wolf said he's sticking around, he's communicating on comms. So by the way, you know about
Yeah.
Wattsmith's emotional state, and you are also updated when, like I said, a couple of EMTs come. They probably would not sedate her. They will shoot her up with painkillers, even though she probably doesn't need them. And they will actually like set and bandage her, hands. Now you'd normally think the EMTs would be like, "God, can we take these cuffs off?" But they're like, "Nah, fam." They're just like,
Yeah.
"All right, you think this is the first ever set of fingers I've had to set in handcuffs? Nah." But basically, if you guys have no further things to do during your recess, we will actually, reconvene.
Mm-hmm.
Go through all this. Everybody shuffles back into the courtroom. Yeah. Odin, you're still outside. Wolf, would you go back to the courtroom to resume your bailiff post, or do you want to stick on Calypso?
Unless I'm specifically like ordered back to the courtroom, I'd probably stay with Calypso.
Okay. All right. You are not immediately called back to that specific courtroom. It makes sense because you busted her to sit with her.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
You are probably standing there then as like courtroom technicians come in and like start wiring up stuff for streaming and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. All
right. So yeah, basically the judge gets you all back in. He asks you, he asks you once again with your eye patch Metatron, young man, are you sure you're all right?
Yes. Just a little bit of a hardware issue for me.
Of course.
Nothing too sensitive hit.
Of course, I perfectly understand. He kind of taps the side of, like I said, he's got the big hextuple, optics. Like, very well. Always a terrible shame when one is injured in the line of duty of the law.
I believe I will have. I would like to ask that. Oh my God! What would his defense lead? Fucker. What is his last name?
Roth.
I'm so bad with names, guys. I'm so sorry. Handle the rest of the questioning.
Of course.
For the sake of clarity for the court.
Yes. Currently, we are attempting to expedite to bring back this witness who I feel has very direct testimony as to the possibility of just what the heck is going on here. Because I got to say, defense, this is a very unusual circumstance, but I believe it is in the best interest of the people in the jury to finish the witness's testimony, and of course allow the prosecution to cross-examine.
The defense would agree. However, I would like to apologize to the courtroom at large for possible mishandling and
Nothing to apologize for. Trust me, I'm going to have words with our security firm about just what is going on here. What was that guy's name again? Dr. Mr. Stubbs. We'd to pay for better weapon detectors. Terrible shame. Judge noises. Anyway, court is in session. Fine. Everybody take your seats.
I'm basically going to have the Roth ask about if she was at the hotel. Because honestly, I think her seeing me would probably just set her off more.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just try and keep out of view of her camera.
Fair enough. And she probably has a very limited point of view. Basically what they do is they fuck it. Well, Cyberpunk Future. There's a holo projector built into the witness stand for remote witnesses.
Oh, hella.
Nice.
So you can do the future equivalent of a Zoom call into court if you can't show up.
Because
They
some
would
people
like
probably
you to
be
show up, but-
hospitalized or in another country.
Yeah, basically. Like,
I mean,
if it is not
actually,
physically
yeah.
possible for you to show up, they will do this.
They actually do have that available.
Yes.
It's mostly for hospitalizations, but
But, also being forced to be confined in the jail block inside the courthouse is a valid excuse as well.
yeah.
And, they sometimes they do stuff with, like, witnesses who might be, like, physically dangerous. They'll, like, restraints or plexiglass or whatever. This is easier. So they hologram her in. She can probably only see, like, Roth's holographic image speaking to her, or maybe she gets, like, a flat view of, like, the courtroom from the streaming, whatever. And I don't know, you can, like, subtly signal to the cameras you don't want to be on main screen.
Yeah.
There's definitely at least one dedicated alternate camera that is just zoomed in on you, on your face and your eye patch, though. So they can cut back to it whenever they feel like it.
I will resist the urge to preen for camera.
Yeah. Claymore, what are your thoughts on preening for camera?
Huh?
What are your thoughts on preening for camera?
I mean, if I notice a camera at me, I'm totally gonna wink at it.
Oh yeah, you catch a couple shots.
Mm-hmm.
All the drama's on the defense right now. Like this is like a whirlwind trial turnaround. Like
Yeah.
everybody thought this was sewed up for the prosecution. They were gonna find something to hang on Theo, and now it's just like, what the fuck is happening? So I don't really, especially because we're at like just crossed 3 hours, and like this is our one of our primary drama points. With Roth taking the lead, I think you guys have made your point with your moves to like, basically, he, calls in a question like, "Hey, where were you? Were you at the hotel?" And she, denies all of it, and then he presents the evidence. Obviously, I feel like with the missed move, you guys have kind of missed your opportunity to get her to like openly break down and admit everything in court,
Mm-hmm.
but her outburst puts her credibility in a bad enough place that the ooh, suddenly ran out of juice there. Hold on. Let me take a big sip of water.
Hydrate.
Oh, it snuck up on me. The jury is probably not sympathetic to her when Roth does the turnaround and like, "Oh, really? You say you weren't there?" Well, we have subpoenaed this surveillance footage from outside the hotel. And, we have reason to believe you are on the guest list. In fact, I can call the bellboy back right now and have him identify you. That's why I asked him about it earlier, if the court will look back. So, you kind of pull all your stuff together, and he basically pitches to the jury your big theory that, spurred on by these conversations, acquired from her employer, Stone and Sons, these conversations she had on company time on company net. There's probably some ranting and raving about how those conversations are supposed to be private, goddammit. Blah, blah, blah. Roth probably says something pithy like, "Well, you didn't read the fine print." That was a little Transylvania on the accent, sorry. I'm supposed to be more Spanish. Hello. My name is Shimoroth. You indicted my father. Prepare to jail. Not quite the same read, but similar. Anyway, yeah, so, busts it all out, implicates, as we said, the corporation with a New York area code. From the Commonwealth of New England kind of a thing. And, she's deny, but, you're getting pretty on there. Now Cardos is kind of fully cottoned onto your plan. She's got that this is your big push, because obviously it's very obvious this is your big push. We have a lot of evidence about this. You've been building up to this one for literally like two or three real hours. So she does her best to object, to cross-reference, to pull out, and try and like create her own wiggle room, try and like do anything she can to like get Watt Smith to, somehow not be at the hotel as a possible other suspect, maybe even tries to like ask leading questions about like, hey, well, you knew Theo, you're on lit, did Theo hire you to bump off his, girlfriend for the drama or whatever? It doesn't really work. But yeah, so it seems like you've got this for the most part pretty locked up. Odin, you said you wanted to originally stick with the vague area where Wattsmith was, but when court was pulled back in session, would you have moved back towards the courtroom, or would you have stayed where you were near the holding cells?
Probably stay near the holding cells because everyone's on comm, so like if something happens,
Okay.
I'll know.
All right, that means you though are in first position. So you notice there are a lot of guys in big bulky coats with duffel bags kind of meandering their way towards the holding cells. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna do the annoying but like well-meaning bystander thing of being like, "What are you doing?" Like, it's a bit awkward time for this kind of thing.
Okay, so you kind of interpose and you're like, "Hey, what's going on with you guys? There's nothing past you." One of them says, "We didn't ask you for your opinion. Sit down and shut up before you get hurt."
Think Pacifica, you probably shouldn't be causing a fight.
Oh yeah? Who's gonna stop us? There are probably about half a dozen guys here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to.
Fight?
You did just say you were on comms. Do you want to
Like,
perhaps?
the goal was like to I guess the goal is just to hit the buzzer to be like, "Oh, there's a group of dudes here we gotta hit." But like, I'm not sure I think Owen probably is more clever than I ever could be to how to word that without immediately tipping everyone, all this group of dudes off.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've got. Actually, that's a good question. Do you have a comms device or do you have cybercom?
I have a comms device. It's around my neck.
Okay, yeah. So that would mean you would have to say it out loud. You could probably like do like a click code. I mean, I feel like that's you want to act under pressure.
Yeah, that's
Real
fair.
cool. You're trying to like give the coded signal to your team without making it obvious to these very Brooklyn-y gentlemen.
Because they might just start shooting me if I say something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's in.
Oh, it's definitely NUP.
Yeah, I figured when the New York absence happened, but up until that point, I was like, it's a 50-50
Yeah, I
shot.
was quite close to the gun. That is an 8.
Okay. Hard bargain. Ugly choice or worse outcome. Okay. You will alert these guys, but that will only be moments before. You will alert the team, I should say, the PCs, but that will only be moments before you alert these guys that you are not just a concerned citizen.
Yeah.
So, you
Honestly,
can go through with that if you are okay.
yeah, because I might take actually Lucky's idea of like in the is a like probably not nerf gas because that wouldn't work, but
Gas grenades? You guys have used those before.
probably yeah, but that might cause. No, fuck it. It's a bunch of dudes and probably like where thermal plating and shit. So yeah.
All right, so you like reach up to where your radio or your earbud or whatever is. You give like you click like the Morse code for SOS or whatever into the you guys' little private comm circle. So everybody knows that Odin just did an SOS, and then one of the guys says, "Oi, what are you doing to an SOS?" And one of the other guys says,
yeah, I'm gonna pull out the gas
Whack him.
launcher in my case.
"Oh,
So
you want a
Porter's-
launcher? Okay,
Court is in session, right?
yes." You guys are in the courtroom. The prosecution is currently cross-examining Wattsmith.
I guess the goal is to fire and then run out of the courtroom so they try to go for me, but probably that's not.
No, don't go leaving. They're not there for you, you idiot.
Yeah, that's probably why I was.
Anyway, well,
yeah.
you're trying to fire a gas grenade at them. You pull out a little compact grenade tube from your case. You know, M79 style. One of them reaches into his duffel and has a sawed-off double-barreled shotgun. He's gonna level at your chest. So I believe this would be mix it up. You are trying to seize control of the hallway. So roll meat, unless you don't roll meat. Then roll whatever it is you roll instead.
Mind if I'm directing on the front, and I think this is the front.
We have become the front.
Yeah, so I think it's mine. So. That's another 8.
Okay. All right. That means that you do get your objective. You have seized control, but you choose 2. You make too much noise, advance the mission clock. You take harm. An ally takes harm. Something of value breaks.
I think it's noise and harm.
Okay.
It's gonna fucking hurt.
All right. So we will advance the action clock.
Because I don't know what the other ones would work.
I mean, you were in front of the holding cell, so Wolf is nearby you.
Fair.
That's the wrong clock. I should advance the action clock. There's no point in advancing the legwork clock. We're out of legwork. Okay. Action clock advances. So you will take 3 harm. It is a shotgun. And then you reduce it by your AP.
I'm wearing my armored suit, so 2.
All right. So you take 1. So roll harm suffered.
Wait, your armored suit's 2?
Actually, no.
Yeah, it's a suit that's hybridized with body armor.
Damn.
So it actually he does look like he is body armored, but we have established that is part of the fashion.
If you're part of if you like work in security or like.
I'm about to say because my normal armor is like 2 armor, and I was like, damn, I could just roll around in a suit this entire time.
No, he's just like he has fancy body armor basically.
Okay.
It's corporate body armor, so I'd put it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the paracorp style. Like he is wearing a like double-breasted suit jacket over a Kevlar vest, and that is the fashion.
Yeah.
And it's also like a bit of like splashed with like.
He's basically PMC chic, is
Yes.
essentially what he is.
Yeah, Vanguard chic.
Okay.
7
But
to
what did
9.
you roll on harm?
I rolled an 8.
Okay, I choose 1. Yes, you lose your footing, you lose your grip on something, you lose track. Someone gets the drop on you.
Don't think it's the drop because they're already shooting me.
Yeah, they're already on you. I'm gonna say it's lose track. So basically, you get involved in a firefight. You pop a gas grenade, probably loaded with CS gas or something. There's like a half dozen of these guys. They start coughing and you take one of the barrels in your side. Catches you, hits the strike plate, but still hurts like a bitch. You go down to one knee.
I'm gonna mark that harm down.
Yeah, mark your harm. They're immediately like, scatter! Scatter, get the rod! A couple of them are like immediately incapacitated. They were way too close to the gas when it got up, so they're just like, like coughing, nose running, tears, puking, etc. But you're not entirely sure where the other 4 of them went to because you were busy distracted by how much that shotgun blast hurt, and also the end of the hallway is now filled with CS gas. And did you remember your gas mask?
I feel like if I'm carrying it, I probably have one with me.
Did you own a gas mask previously?
No.
I believe I'm the only one who owns a.
I guess because I guess we
Yeah.
took. I guess we threw the ones from the old job. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did throw away the ones from the.
No, I specifically said I kept mine.
Yes, I don't know.
But I also keep everything. So
yeah, if you want a gas mask, that would be another gear spend.
I can spend a hold because it's like I've prepared.
That's true. You could. And that does make sense for you to. You do have to spend the hold, but you can say that as like, well, I brought this gun, so I would bring that. So yeah. So yeah, you can put your gas mask on and move through it, but you don't know where those other 4 guys are. And
I'm
obviously,
probably just like actually on the cover. It's like, okay, we got
you come on your radio.
We got 4 tangos and I think northeast
Sure.
side.
What's a tango?
Target.
Okay.
Metatron says that on character, as does Claymore.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A shotgun blast goes off. There's probably like some alarms and stuff. Wolf, you can hear the shotgun blast go off outside the holding cells.
I'm probably
what are you
going
doing?
for her.
Are there any other bailiffs in the holding area with me?
There's probably like a desk sergeant or something. You know, minding his own business. He probably hears the shot and it's like,
Well,
what in
Omega,
the Sam hell?
my
There's
guy
not-
would have gone with him if she was moved to a holding cell.
No. He would not have because she was moved to the holding cell while he was fixing your eye.
Right. Never mind. You're
So yeah,
correct.
he's still back in the courtroom.
I also probably don't probably something about like there's crowd gas in the hall.
I fired a riot gun in the hallway, which is probably setting off some smoke alarms. But yeah, Wolf, what are you doing? There is a desk sergeant. He's like, what in the Sam hell? Probably reaches under his desk, pulls out a shotgun.
Gunfire. I'll pull out my pistol.
Sure.
Though my hand is also resting very close to where my blade is concealed, so
Sure. All right.
I'm just kind of keeping a watch on the door.
In that case, I think a crew cut gentleman in a long black coat with a big Heckler and Colt assault rifle just kicks through the door and just professional 2 3-round bursts, 3 in the desk sergeant's chest, 3 in his head. His blood and guts go everywhere. What are you doing? He's framed perfectly in the doorway.
He took time to take out the sergeant first, which gives me time to close with my blade.
Okay, all right. Roll to mix it up with sword.
All right.
This guy's gonna have a bad fucking time.
He has become error.
Bodies.
While Wolf is executing that move, what are the rest of you doing to Odin's proclamation?
So, Omega, can I act through my subordinates?
I believe so, but we have discussed that is still technically, like, if you want to use them to seize an objective, that's still mix it up with meat, unless you have a
That's
move
fair.
for that.
That's fair.
I got 10.
Okay. So you do it. How much harm is your sword?
5.
Okay.
Is it 18 or
Does
just 5?
it have messy? By any chance?
No. Let's let me double check what it has. It has subtle and dangerous. So I believe it is like only one attack every other round with it, because it does have like a discharged ability. So like,
yeah,
when it enters the body, I discharge it and it does more damage. So.
All right, so yeah, you just run up, stick this guy right through the heart, fire off the other effect, and just remove blade, and he just kind of like, bleh, just bonk, flops onto the floor. From further back in the hallway, you're like, "Oh, Jimmy, what the fuck happened to you?" There's at least one more guy in the hallway.
Is there
outside.
gas out in the hallway?
No, the gas I think is further down the other way. That would be
Alright.
between the rest of the team and there.
I do have a small gang, but I didn't actually say I brought them into the courtroom, so they'd probably be outside. Could I get them inside to assist in this or secure the area?
Yeah, you could call on them. You could go for a. Yeah, I think that still is mix it up. Just be like, "Yo, I want you to seize the building."
Yeah.
Using your gang. Yeah, that's fair.
And I will basically direct them from the courtroom.
Yes.
I'm
What's
best.
happening in the courtroom, by the way, is that probably in the middle of being cross-examined, Calypso like goes wide-eyed and look off screen, and she's like, "Oh my God, there's somebody in there." There's, you hear in the courtroom, you hear the faint muffle of the bang bang, and then the snicked.
Oh wait, so we see that in the courtroom?
No. You probably hear the faint sounds of violence. The hologram only displays her, but she is like, it's her holding cell. So
Okay, but the court sees that they see that, right? The court sees that she sees that.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna head off then.
You. Just probably like, order! What the hell is going on in here? Security! Blah, blah, blah. Speaking of security, how did your mix it up go, Claymore?
10.
Okay. Yeah, so, the alarms are being tripped, stuff's going on, your guys come in, you probably get a comm from one of the blades and is like, security guards at the front, gate are down.
Mhm.
And then they're like, clank, clank, clank. Obviously, you see Metatron tear off like a dumbus. Like a doofus.
Oh, where is he tearing off to? Fuck! Oh.
He's tearing off to, at the very least, the cloud of CS gas. I do want to say, I feel like there's a moment, right, where, Metatron, you're jogging down the hallway, you see the cloud of gas, you see the two puking guys, and then suddenly there is a very Brooklyn-sounding gentleman with a, clasp a baton. He's like, hey, you, where's you going? I know you use
Oh, is that
weapon
guy
for defense."
standing?
Yes.
I'm gonna palm him,
All right.
and then a giant flaming sword is gonna come out of my palm into his chest.
Okay. Roll mix it up. I do believe you get to do
I get to
synth
use
implant
synth for
weapons.
this.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I think he dies.
Yeah?
14.
Okay. Is your weapon messy?
Yee.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's a monofil with stats, but in the form of a sword.
No,
This
it's
is not
slightly
the-
different.
this is not the
Because it has
the
discrete.
Oh.
And it doesn't have whatchamacallit.
Area?
It doesn't have the one that's harmful to me.
No, it's not.
It doesn't
dangerous.
have dangerous. Yeah.
Okay.
I modified it a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So, basically, this is not the classic, Adam Jensen lethal takedown, just snick stab fall over. This
No.
is like palm chest. Your hand unfurls into a flaming sword. Your suit sleeve is probably toast now.
Oh yeah.
And then it's just insert up. He gets raised and just like a hot knife through butter, it just slides like up through his heart, collarbone, neck, and just out the top,
Oh.
and he just kind of steams and splorts onto the floor. Blah. At which point, a couple of blades probably come around the corner, guns and knives drawn, or just like, oh, hey, it's that guy, clear.
Yeah.
And Claymore, you basically get filtered back that, they've secured the front hall. The gate guards are down. They took out two more outside and rounded up two guys who are incapacitated. Wolf, you have a moment to deal with the final guy on your side of the smoke cloud, outside the hallway, before the blades probably bum rush through the CS gas. So what would you be doing?
I'm pretty much waiting until the guy probably hears the sound of footsteps approaching, and then I come up behind him and stab him in the back.
Okay.
Because why would you stab someone in the front when you can stab him in the back?
True. Go for it.
Agreed.
Unless you have a special move for this.
No, just
Yeah, so
normal.
just shank him.
That'd be a 9.
All right.
So I think that means there's the effects.
Yes. That means that's the playlist. You get to
Mix it up.
pick 2. Make too much noise. Take harm. An ally takes harm. Something of value breaks.
I'll take harm as established by fiction and make too much noise.
All right. Action clock is getting up there. It is now at 2200.
Honestly, it feels like it almost feels like we're getting points on the NUP clock. Honestly.
I
how
might
much-
do them up as a threat or not. We'll see.
How much harm would I get?
Okay.
Assuming that he
has-
turns to face me and probably gets a few shots.
Yeah,
in
probably.
before I finish
He
him
has he has an assault rifle, and basically, just as you go for the shank, he spins around at the last minute and just does the classic trigger depress. You block most of it, but a couple of them wing you. That would be 3 harm.
off. Okay, so that reduces to 2 then.
Yep. And a roll plus harm suffered.
Boop, boop. Here's that one. Harm. So this is the first time I've done this. I add the amount of harm I done to the roll?
Yes. Yeah, you roll a 2d6 and then you add the harm, and it is technically this is the one move where rolling higher is bad,
Yeah.
as seen from
All right.
however every time Dallas does.
So I got an 8.
All right, I choose one. You lose your footing, you lose your grip, you lose track, or someone gets the drop on you.
Should I say I lose track of Callisto?
Still in the cell, fuck.
Yeah, well, I'll lose my footing.
Well, I pick. It says MC
Oh, you
chooses
pick,
one.
okay.
But
Never mind.
still talking through this, I was thinking lose your footing anyway. Like
Okay.
you get clipped at close range by a rifle bullet. It's through and through, but like damn, ow. And you kind of like stumble down on the ground. You go back to pretending to be a wounded bailiff, I guess. The blades come rushing through. The CS gas.
I would have let them, if I'd seen them coming, I would have let them take point.
Oh no, you did. Some of them checked in with you, so like they pop through the gas.
Because they have more muscles than I do.
They probably see Odin where he's kind of like piecing himself together from his shotgun wound and also
I'm
possibly
thinking about if
reloading
I
his
should
grenade.
start tapping the people that are puking, but maybe that's probably not worth it.
Well, the blades said to Claymore they secured them already, so that's in their hands. If you want to go for dropping them, but they recognize you as part of the squad, so they like help you to your feet, buddy. They're like, "Hey, you all right? You a medic? You okay?"
If I might need to get...
No,
Oh,
that was
sorry.
talking to Odin.
Okay.
To Wolf, they're just like, "Oh, it's a bailiff."
Okay.
They're probably not like as nice to you, but one of them will definitely be like, "Oh, we gotta." I wouldn't say civilian, I guess. They would just say,
Member of the other team or something like that?
yeah, officer down here. One of them probably puts pressure on your rifle wound, but they treat you like you are a bailiff. And a couple of them probably, rush into the holding cell to see what's up. I assume that's where Metatron is going.
No, it's probably a bad idea for me to go in there.
Okay.
If everyone's got it under control.
It
what's
seems
a
fairly...
believable-
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off to like one of the side medical rooms and like cower in place.
Okay.
Why?
To give a reasonable cover to why I ran out of the courtroom.
Okay. He's gonna fake a panic attack. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Claymore, do you have any opinion on the how the blades should handle the two guys who are currently disabled by tear gas?
As long as they don't just outright murder them, no.
Okay, they will probably sit on them until the authorities show up.
Yes.
The other two who are on the other side of the CS gas, one of them obviously Metatron hella murdered, but I'm gonna assume that the sixth guy I didn't explicitly mention also probably got shot up by the blades as they busted in, seizing control.
Look, unfortunately, my non-lethal takedown methods are very limited.
Yeah. No, it's fair. I mean, I think at this point, like, there has been, like, an actual goddamn terrorist attack on the courthouse. They have to suspend the proceedings for the day. And I kind of feel like that's basically the lock-in, right?
Yeah.
That, like, you guys win because, like, somebody just tried to assassinate your witness. Like, if your argument is corpo conspiracy, well, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, exhibit A.
Evidence.
I'm sorry, but like,
Evidence.
there's a squad of terrorists that were caught in 4K.
True facts. Actually, that is a good question. Does Metatron wouldn't, because that would make sense. But does Wolf or Odin have any tagged recording cyberware or something?
Let me see if my eye has it. I might.
No.
My eye has thermographic recording and encrypted.
Yeah, so you, a humble bystander, could have literal 4K footage of them just accosting you in the fucking hallway.
I think.
So,
it was
yeah,
like,
no, they are in fact caught in 4K.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like obviously we could run through the motions of like the rest of the case, but I think that is probably the fairly definitive answer to this case. Like, obviously there's a lot of heat taken from that. Like I said, you guys are at 2,300. Like,
yeah, but
the judge and courthouse security has a lot of questions. So honestly, some of you on the team probably need to fucking go back to laying low. But I feel like there haven't been enough hiccups in your actual case that when court resumes the next day or in a couple days, however many later, that like Roth can't take the evidence you've already presented and, clinch it in.
we could probably cut.
I will formally apologize to the judge for my reaction.
Yeah. Oh, God. No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be that guy. Roll me the one final fast talk, buddy. Because you're going to play.
Dice, I know we have a contentious relationship.
I wish I
Just
could
not
help you,
right
but
now.
I was never established to be in the courtroom. So.
Oh, thank God. Okay, yeah, 13.
Okay, all right. Ooh, we're back. The drama has passed. Okay. So yeah, like
It's any Omega. It's whenever I'm not rolling fast talk,
true fact.
except for that one time.
But yeah, no. So I feel like this is that moment of like everything's gone on. I feel a little bad that Squirrel couldn't actively contribute, but maybe if something had gone different, you guys would have.
Well, I did say to drive around just see if there was any sort of cars around because hey,
Yeah. They probably did have like a van. With like a driver. I mean, if you want to follow him, you could probably follow him without needing to make any additional moves.
sure, I'll just do that.
Okay, that just probably goes on the pile of evidence of the terrorist attack. I could turn this into a chase scene again, but I feel like we got the juice out of it.
Yeah.
We've been going for about 3.5 hours. Like, you guys hit your nice big climactic moment. There's a terrorist attack. You got your beats in. So I feel like this resolves with like Theo is cleared on all counts. Roth is just like on the courthouse steps, in front of a big blob of press. He's just like, I think we see that true justice was done. Everything is fine. My client was never in any danger. It is all merely an action of corporations beyond our borders. Blah blah blah. Sells it really hard. The prosecution is basically just like, we did the best with the evidence we had. Obviously, the state is pursuing a case against, Calypso Wattsmith. Blah, 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 it's probably not the greatest mark on Cardis's record, but also you didn't go out of your way to specifically clown on her. So it's not like she looks awful either.
Also, she has an excuse that it was out of her hands at a random.
Also, she does have excuses like literally it was a terrorist attack.
Yeah, no, like she can also be like, obviously these proceedings were very usual, et cetera, et cetera. And so I think we're gonna move to
The feds brought a parrot in.
I think we're gonna move to the get paid phase.
Wait, because when we got the not guilty, don't we mark experience there?
Yes, the not
Part
guilty is
2,
clear.
yeah.
That is right. We should say that you get 2 for clearing the
Yay.
job.
I do advance then.
Yes, so you guys can work on all of those.
I
But
Do I
Odin should
experience
roll.
we do get paid or after I roll?
I believe it is you have to actually do the roll to get paid.
get paid.
You mark the experience for your thingy afterwards.
Yeah.
All right, then. So
Says
I'm gonna.
yes.
All right, I'm gonna roll.
Soldier. If you
Bonus?
get paid, mark experience.
What's the bonus?
So technically, if you somehow whiff, right? Yeah, I was just counting it. It was, I think, 3. Yeah, you've got 3 unfilled segments in the legwork clock. So still possible to fuck up.
Holy
but-
shit, boxcars! Holy fuck.
Damn. Okay, you do not fuck up.
That's a 15, so that's 4, I think. Let me check. I get an extra.
Yeah,
on
I
this.
think you get an extra, and then it's
Yeah, 4.
10 plus, choose 3. So it's not a setup. You're paid in full.
I got an extra
Plays in
one,
file,
even if I
then
miss.
check
So, like,
tension.
yeah. Let's see. I think because it might fit of. Let's see. I would say this. We are paid in full.
Yep. So
We
everybody gets
learned
your
something
payout.
from this. So mark experience.
All right, you get another XP.
Okay. That's 2 XP. I'll advance.
I will say. Up to you guys. Is like I want to do. One of them is it's not a separate ambush, or the beating does not attract the attention of outside parties. The one I do not pick.
Meeting
I
of
think you
outside
shouldn't pick
parties.
Well, you
Yeah.
get 4, right?
Yeah. So it's like I get 4 out of the 5.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't pick ambush because I don't even know how that would work.
No, it's
Yeah.
he's saying he should pick it's not a setup or anything.
No, I'm saying he shouldn't pick that one. I think
Oh.
he should pick the.
Okay.
Meeting outside parties.
Is it never gonna be an ambush? I'm gonna cry.
I mean,
Axe is
the-
infamous
but-
for always rolling fucking top marks on getting paid.
I
It is
mean,
very
you
true.
know, if it's not phrased like if you don't pick this, it absolutely is a setup or an ambush, but it's also not a setup or an ambush
Yeah.
if you don't pick it.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
All right. I'll pick everything except the. It's not a setup.
The what?
I will pick you are paid in full. The employer is identifiable. The meeting does not attract the attention of outside parties, and you learn something.
Okay. So you do not pick it is a setup or not a setup or ambush.
Yes, because I remember us joking about how that would go.
All right.
That session.
Okay. All right, but attraction of outside parties is good. All right, so everybody gets your payout. I believe it was the usual 2x, whatever you put in.
I chose 3. I think everyone else picked 2.
Well, no, I believe the pay rate is the
Yeah, pay rate.
Oh, right.
Was it
Pay
2 or
rate.
3?
I think it's 2 normally.
So whatever you
But
put in.
didn't he get paid? Didn't he roll
and
for
then-
good paid? Didn't he roll for paid well?
Oh
think
yeah,
it
you know,
did.
so it should be 3x,
3,
right?
yeah.
Because
I put in
Odin
2.
rolled
Times 3, yeah.
job pays well on get the job. Yeah, so it's times 3 whatever you put in,
All right, cool. So.
and you were paid in full, so there's no shortchanging. So yeah, basically to get paid, no, not an all-expensive paid vacation to Disneyland. That's silly. That was my first thought, but no, that's incorrect. Let's see, it was a public park last time. What's a good place? Oh, down by the docks.
If I have to go pay a bill, the pretzel bill, I'll fucking do it. God damn it.
In the old wharf.
Soda.
So you guys are all going to get paid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a boat, there's a dock. Your contact princess is there, dressed as always, smoking. There's a duffel bag on the dock side, just like. All right, well, you've carried out your operation to a very good letter of. Obviously, there's a little bit of complications. We're not really too broken up about Mezzanine eating a perjury charge. But, that will technically require us to rotate his clientele out to other services. Theo needs a new agent. That's fine. We'll work something. He's very hot right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's a real troublesome business. Everything could have gone better. We obviously appreciate the angle you did with NUP. I know we did not name names, but the group knows what's happening. We made sure to throw in a little bonus for you on that. However, I do want to say there was a slight thing about this job. Obviously you were working for the group. I represent them, but it was actually a little bit of a joint operation. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is the right, or is that a different? Yeah, no, I think this is the appropriate NPC. In the name list I've got, the one you gave me, Dallas, was your sister, the head of security, is
Oh,
Samara,
Jesus
Stone, right?
Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
So she steps off the boat. Golf clap. Yes, excellent work, everybody. This was actually no, it's I don't think it's an ambush. I think it's a setup.
Oh, no.
Yes, you see, because the employer is also identifiable. Yes, so you see that this was a joint operation to clean house in our mutual networks. Obviously, Matrix security is provided to the group by Stone and Sons. True, for Metatron, it's an ambush. He was talking smack.
I have been ambushed.
You are at least in disguise right now, because you're always in disguise.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure. Well, no, she probably would have already She probably would have already gone after me then, so she probably doesn't know.
Yeah. And so we greatly appreciate you coming together and kind of handling this thing for us. That's right. I should put a little bit of Southern bite in Samara Stone. Yes, thank you very much for all this. You've done a wonderful job for both of us. We really appreciate it. Obviously, you have your party favors in the bag. Everything is gone to thing. We appreciate working with you. Nice to see you again, Mr. Claymore.
You as well.
And obviously, we understand your various other operations, other individuals. Thank you so much for your time. If you'll excuse us, there's a further issue of consulting that Stone and Son has been pulled on. I feel like a black panel van drives up behind you, and on a gurney, Miss Wattsmith is wheeled out to that sailboat. Probably kind of, duct tape over her mouth. Don't worry none about that. It's none of your concern anymore. All right, y'all have a great evening now. If you excuse me,
You as well.
I image,
Buck up, Buttercup.
I image as Odin sees the lady like carted off into the boat. Odin just like unbuttons one of his like suit and like rubs where he got shot. It's like,
I'm just giving big side eye to fucking Metatron.
Metatron looks like he's about to pass out.
Which, considering he's, masked and robed, do you have a big hat as well? In your disguise?
No, it's just a solid. Well, I mean, kind of, because the mask is like around the head.
Okay, yeah, you have a very big, fancy Phantom of the Opera mask. I was just wondering if you had like the wide-brimmed priestly hat.
No, yeah.
You're chilling.
To point it out, my sister is about 6'4", and is probably about. I think she might be more chromed than you, Lucky or Claymore.
Yeah,
she's also.
I golf clapped with my actual hands, but I imagine it was probably a little more metally and plasticky.
Yeah. No, she would. Yeah.
there's an echo to this claps.
Clank, clank.
She's terrifying.
I'm imagining like an almost like a not quite a military uniform, but not quite a suit, like something in that vein, like the kind of stuff that like dictators wear with like an actual real fresh rose in her lapel, because
she's also
fuck.
Yeah, she's also a former vet, to point out to say. She's she's
a military baron.
Yeah, she's
thank you kindly, gentlemen.
I will meep off in a corner.
Yeah. Odin checks the bag. All of your cred is in there. So you're all paid up. And, something unspeakable will happen to Miss Wattsmith, so she spills everything she knows. And
Who's Miss Wattsmith? She doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to think about it.
We'll take a little. She will spill her guts, and then she will be spilled into the bay, never to be seen again.
And we were never here.
They're gonna chum the bay.
We were never here. We never saw you.
Who wants pretzels, or we go to like a sushi bar?
And don't now. Yeah, Princess kind of leans back from the boat as you say that. And don't think we've forgotten about the bill. hotel bill. We caught that. We'll remember that for next time.
I just pointed Odin.
The next time we speak, we are going to have a strict expense budget negotiated, okay? But I understand. That's on me, not on you.
That's clear.
I actually need to take care of 2 things. I'm
Besides your
going to
face
declare contact.
Okay.
I'm going to declare Theo as a contact.
Sure. I think that's pretty
I'm going
obvious.
to
How
list as
he
friend.
knows you. Yes, you say
'Cause
why
I need friends who aren't insane. No offense.
Well, then I'm going to declare the opposite. I want to declare the prosecutor.
I mean, I was going to ask you about your denouement, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Theo. I'm just writing in my list. Almost at the bottom.
Yeah.
Theo. And then Suzumi Cardos for Claymore. So technically, when you declare a contact, you should say whether they owe you a favor or you owe them a favor.
I owe her a favor because I'm pretty sure she knows
What I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, she has her suspicions. She was eyeballing Metatron the whole time. She's probably not ever going to say everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
But
Marth, you can go ahead and
she
float
can
me
probably
on that.
leverage. She can probably leverage a favor out of that for me. Out of me.
She also probably did her background research on you, and like I said, she would have rolled back the footage, and like, if she wanted to, she could probably be like, "Hey, you totally intimidated that witness," you know?
Yeah.
She doesn't really give too much of a fuck about the case. Like, okay, yeah, Roth gets to, you know, neener, I beat you, but like, that case was dumb. There was, you know,
It was very dumb. That got very dumb at the end.
there were guns in the courtroom. There were terrorist attacks, all kinds of silly stuff.
Well,
Very weird.
to phrase it properly, people actually pulled the guns in the courtroom.
True.
I feel like there are very often guns in the courtroom.
Yeah, bailiffs. But, you know, knowing a prosecutor who
Shots
knows how
were
to
actually
enforce the law
fired.
is probably not. Yes, shots literally fired.
Yeah.
Hashtag shots fired. Metatron should put that on his future social medias.
Metatron is currently having a panic attack.
Well, you know, as I say, talk shit, get hit. You were like, you don't need to pick ambush. It's perfectly fine. And I'm like, okay, the employer is identifiable. It's a setup.
I mean, I'm glad that we have a setup available now. I was like,
It's right there. Like, it wasn't a violent setup, but it was absolutely, you were bamboozled. You were not working for who you thought you were working for. This was actually a collab. And technically, you guys figuring it out Calypso as, you know, technically a plant from NUP, or at least, you know, an asset, was all part of the plan. You just did Disney and Stone & Sons internal affairs dirty work. And you didn't even know.
I don't think I even need to do slippery because I feel like we actually did what they wanted.
No, yes, you played your corporate aspects perfectly. I will have to debate whether or not I want to really add NUP as a threat clock for later.
I don't think they know our names. I think they just know the
no,
well.
Yeah.
You just
They're
hear
just
Metatron
part of
just like,
the
"Does she
ongoing
know?"
corporate
No,
shenanigans.
she doesn't know. If she knew, she would have pulled me onto that boat.
I am buying fucking cyber legs.
Okay. What kind of saber legs?
Let me see here.
Oh, actually, I should say, because, let's see. Yeah, the recording's already getting pretty long. Any, you know, advancement stuff you want to say on mic? Any other comments about the session? I know that our legwork stuff got a little weird, but I think that one played very well, and I think
I have one more thing I have to take care of.
Yeah, what's up?
Via mechanics. I have to sell that stuff that I got.
Oh yeah, you got some pay data. Okay.
I advanced, but I'll wait for that.
2 sockets of pay data.
I have a question
All right.
to bring up.
I also took my advancement in, ironically, in whatchamacallit, not FaceTime because I essentially already have that. It was sales and no, God, there's so many sales related things. It's like, is it sales? No.
Engineers, when you choose equipment, take +1.
Deal of a lifetime. That's what it is.
Deal of a lifetime. Yeah. Hit the streets.
It's basically more safety. It's hit the streets. If I get a 7 to 9 for selling stuff, got a 7 to 9. I choose one less.
All right.
So on one of the pay data things, I actually can't get any bad results because it was
that one you already got.
the
Choose
thing.
one less because it was good.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I'm not gonna get cyberlegs.
So on that one, of course, on the one I can't fail on, I got boxcars.
All right. So you know you get what you want, and you get a little something extra. The gear and intel doesn't matter because you're gonna lose that part. But yeah, let's see. That one's good. We'll probably say that's just.
Well, if I get gear, I actually do have something I could use that on.
Really? Can you use gear in the context of the mission?
Well, I mean, I just wanted a replacement for the mask I lost.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I guess that's fine. You can get something extra. We can pre-narratively fluff it out. Okay, and I'll say that was probably worth 1 cred.
Okay. And on the other pay data, I got a 8. So I think it's you pick one from the list.
No, you choose one from the list. Let's see.
Okay.
Take some time, unwanted attention, or your contact, whoever you're selling this to. Takes a hit. Who would you be selling this to, by the way?
This probably because it was on. It's on Karasu, right?
Yeah.
So probably more in the. I'd say this would be more in the white collar area, not necessarily blue collar. And then because this is just Metatron's calling card at this point, I'm gonna pick tracks unwanted attention because it's funny.
Okay. Yeah, it is your thing. I mean, I think the best one for... If you're not opposed to it, I think the best one for what fits that is the fact that you have Sue Stone, your brother, marked.
Oh, jeez. That's
Bro,
funny.
I found some cool shit on the net. Check this out.
No,
Throw
that
me
is
some
funny.
slush fund money. But where's my... Talk about corporal clocks. Yeah, we'll check that one up. Okay. Yep, got it. Okay. Yeah, and that'll be another cred, basically, so you make 2 total cred from that.
Okay. I am filthy fucking rich.
Yay!
Yeah.
I
But you have
19
paid
cred.
off other members of the team before, so...
Oh yeah, no.
You can
And
always
I don't really have anything I want to spend it on, so I'm content being the group sugar daddy at this point.
I mean, it makes when you roll, like, fast talks or hit the streets to get stuff, you're like, oh, I got the cred to pay off this guy to do the thing.
Yeah. It makes
okay.
sense with my character.
Yes. Anything else you guys want to say on air about your stuff,
So,
or we can cut it off here?
I advanced
All right.
after that scene.
Oh, actually, I
so...
did want to say... I mean, we all advanced.
Yeah.
I'm just asking if that's important to get on camera.
Oh, 'cause
No,
the one
I
thing
can.
Yeah,
I got some
think
things I'll
so.
take care of off camera.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
reason bring up a view was it might lead us to where we do our next job. Is that one thing is I grab a new move or I buy off owned, and we might do that in the form of a new job.
I feel we can deal with this off camera.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. I will stop the audio. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
All right.